Hey, what's up? It's Cute What If this side. Today we will be seeing what if Deku was trained by Stain. Now before we move ahead with the fic, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future what ifs like this. Izuku walked just about aimlessly after his encounter with the slime villain in All Might, even learning about one of his biggest secrets. But even so, even meeting All Might face to face. He never got to hear the words he always wanted. Instead, all he got was, "Be realistic." Well, that was a kick in the heart for him. Just really rubbing the fact he's quirkless and his wounds. Like it didn't already before, but this was just an all-time low. He barely even noticed the crowd or ruckus until a loud explosion snapped his mind into focus, and the sounds of people panicking, sirens and devastation boom in his eardrums. Wow, what? Izuku scurries over to the crowd of people and peers through. He sees a good portion of the city street destroyed and on fire, and in the middle of it is the same slime villain that attacked him. But All Might. He made him drop him. He's out because of him. And was now attacking Kanchan. Is that Kanchan and that villain? Izuku thought. Mount Lady was currently having issues just simply getting to the scene to lend a hand due to the small narrow street. Death Arms couldn't seem get a good hold or hit on the villain's odd body. Same with Kamui Woods, and Backdraft was busy putting out the fires that Kanchan's explosions were making. His thoughts ragged inside his head. Damn it, we'll just have to hang on until the right hero shows up. Yeah, well, time is something we don't really have, bub. Death Arms yelled. Kanchan. Izuku shouted as he bolted past the crowd and past the pros. Hey kid, the hell are you doing? Backdraft yelled as he tried to douse the flames around them. Gotta help. Izuku yelled. Stop you dits. Death Arms screamed. Hey slime guy, take this. He then tossed his backpack at the slime villain and his stuff flopped out and his book struck his eye, making him yelp. Izuku then jumped forward and frantically tore at the slime to try and free the struggling Bakugo. DDKU, get away. Why you can't, he muffled out. Sorry, but I can't let you die, Izuku said with a tearful smile. It's my fault this happened, so I have to fix it. The boy shouted with a burning desire. This desire surged through his veins and awakened something within him. Just then a red light seeped from his hands. Red and black static formed around his arms and hands. Then at that moment the slime villain let out a huge groan and began to shrink. What? Bakugo then felt the villain's grasp loosen a bit. Izuku didn't know what was happening, but he kept on. Whatever it was working. The glow on his arms got brighter as the villain shrunk and reverted to a human state. The crowd was awestruck at what was happening, while the pros and even All Might in the back of the crowd. Ugh, what the shit? How'd you do that? And, why can't I use my quirk? The villain roared. Yeah, take that. Izuku said, quickly gathering his things and taking off. Can anyone explain what the heck just happened? The wood-limbed hero said. I got no fucking idea. The big-armed hero spoke. This is bullshit. YKGH. The villain is then socked by Death Arms and falls unconscious. Take a nap, bub. Death Arms groaned. Should we go after the kid? Make sure he's okay? Mount Lady asked. No, let's just worry about this one here and put out the rest of these fires. Kamui spoke, helping Bakugo up. Bakugo couldn't help but keep staring off in the direction Izuku ran. What was that? He kept thinking. How did he do that? And how dare that loser show him up? Back with Izuku. Huff, huff, huff. He ran to where he didn't know, but right as he was about to stop and rest, something swooped him off his feet. Wow. Izuku panicked and struggled as this unknown abductor pounced from building wall to building wall until they reached the top of one building and set him down. Izuku immediately scurried away to take a good look at this mysterious person. A tall man with black wild hair, a red headband and a white eye mask, and armed to the teeth with blades. Izuku was kinda terrified. This wasn't any hero he recognized. Was he a villain? You, young man. The armed stranger slowly gets closer. Who are you? Izuku tried backing up. I am known as Stain. And you? He then leaped forward. Ha. He was surprised when the man lifted him up in the air with a smile. Are a true hero, the stranger said with an ear-to-ear smile as he hoisted Izuku up in the air in praise. Izuku had never felt more confused. Really? His voice sounded almost longingly. The man then placed the boy onto his feet and continued enthusiastically, still with his wide smile. Yes, really. You, a mere child running headfirst into danger to rescue another with no concern for his safety, without hesitation into a situations even trained pros were struggling with. That is true heroism. Nothing is more noble than self-sacrifice. Young man, I know it. You will be a great hero. Izuku was taken back. He felt a wave of emotions flow through him. His eyes welled up a bit, and he smiled ever so genuinely. A true smile. And not a forced one. Are you okay? What's wrong? Oh, sorry, it's just ... and no one has ever said that to me. He said, wiping his eyes, getting a grip on his emotions. Well, with a heart like yours, I can't imagine why not. It's because I was born quirkless. All I ever wanted was to be a hero. Like All Might. Someone who saves others with a smile. But ... I was told I was quirkless. And from that day on the world and everyone around just seemed to rig that fact in my face day after day. After day not even counting the bullying. The man's face grew visibly upset by this but quickly regained his composure. Well, your struggles weren't for naught and your efforts didn't go unrewarded. He crossed his arms smiling. What do you mean Oh. You mean what I did back there. Indeed. It seems you had a quirk after all. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what I did there, but I guess you're right I have a quirk now. I guess I can deactivate quirks. Or seal them. I'm guessing that's what I did. Izuku stared at his hands pondering his power. It seemed so, whatever it did it depowered him. He stared at his hands and focused trying to see if he could summon the power again And to his surprise black static formed around his hands. Wow. Wait it was red and black when I used it now it's green and black we wow. Before he could finish his hands began to melt and turn green. The man's eyes widened and took a few steps back. A green sludge began to cover Izuku and he became a smaller version of the sludge villain. Hag a ghh w wow and oh I didn't deactivate that guy's quirk. I took it. He spoke with a tone of excitement and fear. I see so your quirk allows you to take away quirks and use them for yourself. A strong quirk indeed. He rubbed his chin. I can't believe this. I have such an awesome quirk. He cheered, morphing his whole body into a sludge-like creature. This is so cool. He then morphed back with a proud smile on his face. Well, I'm sure you'll put that quirk to good use. Certainly more better than that villain. He wasn't deserving on that power. Oh wait does that mean he's quirkless? Oh wow now I feel bad. I stole his quirk oh boy I even broke a law. I used a quirk on a villain unlicensed. He went into a frantic panic. I wouldn't worry about it. You did something good. Yes, you did break a rule to do so, but you still did a good thing and with no negative drawbacks. That counts for something. You saved a life and stopped the villain no one else could before it was too late and neutralized him as a threat without injuring him or using any excessive force. He placed a hand on his shoulder. Why yeah, I guess you're right. Besides, I'm sure if I was in trouble those pros would have came after me. Since they let me go. I guess all's well. Yeah besides he was a bad guy using his power to hurt people. So if that's how he's gonna use his gift then it's better he not have it. The boy rubbed the back his neck nervously trying to look on the brighter side to this situation. I have to agree now then boy I want to ask you something. Yes, the boy tilted his head. How much do you want to become a hero? He spoke in a low but stern tone. Izuku gulped. More than anything. He said with courage in his eyes. Very well. Would you like me to train you? Why, train me? Really? Izuku beamed in joy. Yes, I am a strong fighter and I can teach you all I know. I can teach you how to become a great combatant and how to control your quirk. Why yes I accept. Mr. Stain. Stain geez that sure sounds like a scary name say are you a new hero? No, I'm not a hero. The mysterious man spoke coldly. Are you a villain? The young boy cowered. You could say I'm anti-villain, however don't worry I'm of no threat to you or anyone innocent. He spoke with an earnest tone. Izuku wasn't quite sure how to respond to that he wanted to press on that but he didn't want to run the risk of angering Stain. Besides he seemed nice enough. Okay, I believe you and thanks for offering to train. I'll never forget this. Holds out his hand to Stain and smiles. I'm Izuku Midoriya. I'm happy to have you as my mentor Stain. He smiled. Stain chuckled and shook his hand. Anything to help strengthen this generation, said Stain. Now then meet me near the hiking trail near the local park tomorrow after school. Do not keep me waiting. Stain shot a sharp look. Yes sir. He stood at attention. Good. Now let me get you down from here. Without warning he swooped Izuku off his feet and hopped off the building and performed a few acrobatics before landing down to the ground. Geez you could warn me you know. The boy scuffed getting off. Indeed I could but you really wouldn't learn if I did now would you? Stain spoke. Fair enough. Izuku stammered. Stain chuckled again and Izuku couldn't help but do the same. Until tomorrow boy. The man pounced up back onto the rooftops and vanished. Man what a cool guy. Izuku smiled walking off back home to prepare for tomorrow. Izuku looked at his hand and smiled. I guess good things really do come to those who wait. The boy smiled. With Stain. Stain was currently hopping from rooftop to rooftop grunting. He sneered. He finally came to a stop on top of a large water tank and peered over the city gazing out into the distance. Sigh. Hero. I will restore that title. He cursed under his breath. Oh man, I'm so exited. Things couldn't go any better for me. Turns out I actually do have a quirk, and a strong one. However to use it I have to take someone else's quirk it sure feels like a double-edged sword but it's better than being quirkless. Besides, though it may seem like a villainous quirk it isn't the quirk that make the person, it's the person and how they use it. I pumped my fist in the air as I near the location Stain told me to meet him. I gotta say he really is a mysterious figure. I couldn't find out anything about him. He's definitely not anyone well-known ... but I can just tell there's this air of secrets around him ... Well, I will be training with him from here on. I'm sure he'll open up to me ... eventually ... Well, I hope at least enough so that he'll tell me his name. At the very least. It took a while to make up a good enough lie to my mom to cover up this whole training stuff. Just telling her I would be hanging with friends for a project. Phew. Good thing my mom is awesome and totally trusts me without question. Oh, I'm here. I get to the hiking path leading into the forest ... but Stain wasn't around ... Maybe ... I got here first. Or maybe he got held up ... Wait ... Everything's gone quiet ... Too quiet ... Like ... The kind of quiet when something bad's about to happen. I tense up and glance around fearing something just might pop out at me ... Then suddenly I heard shuffling in a tree just on the left of me ... And almost on instinct I went into my sludge form just in time for a figure to swoop out of the tree and at me like a bullet and stop on a dime in front of me with the blade pointed right in at my left eye. Quick but not quick enough. Keep your head in the game if you planning to keep it. Stain then lowered his sword and put it away. I let out a breath of relief and revert back to my normal state. So that's the kind of teacher he is ... The hardcore type ... This was gonna be one heck of a ride ... But hey, I did agree to this after all, so I can't really complain. Right, I guess we're gonna work on that, right? I asked nervously. That and pretty much everything else. I'll push every single aspect of you to its limits and beyond. Plus ultra. I chant. Stop that. The man said sharply. Sorry. Izuku ducked his head. It's okay, now go change into these. Stain said, handing me some green robes. Oh, okay ... Where do I go to change? Izuku spoke confused. That's a tough one. Maybe behind all the trees surrounding us. His voice dripped with sarcasm. Right, sorry sir. I then walked off into the woods a bit to make sure I was out of sight and began to change. Gee, Stain is gonna be strict, I can feel it. I better make sure not to get on his nerves. Meaning no stupid questions, no mumbling, and none of my other annoying habits. I then get changed into the robes he had ready for me. It was a light green battle gi. Short-sleeved and short at the legs too. Why do I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that? I decided to shrug it off and fold up my clothes and place them in my bag. I smiled to myself, eager to start my training to be a hero. I walked back over to Stain. He was waiting while sitting with his legs and arms crossed. HMBH. He notices me come up and hops to his feet. Here. He then handed me to what seemed to be a short katana ... What are they called again? Kodachi. I took it and unsheathed it to examine the blade. That will be a part of your training. Practice with it well. Oh, right. I smile, sheathing it again and placing it in my waist strap. Okay, what's 5GAH? Stain then slammed his foot into my chest, sending me to the ground in pain. I'm going to boost your reaction speed. Okay ... That hurt ... Geez ... You couldn't have given me a warning. I spat, rubbing my chest in pain. Will your foes give you a warning? And oh ... He did have a point. A villain sure isn't gonna give you a heads up. I then suck it up and stand back up and give a look of determination in my eyes. Hey ... Good. I like that look in your eyes. He then took a stance. I nod and took a stance as well. A brief moment of silence fell ... Then with a quick motion, Stain came at me with blurry speed. He reeled back his arm and I quickly thought he was ready for a forward punch. I then bring my arms up to my face to block it, but then he suddenly lowered his arm and punched upward between my crossed arm guard to throw my arms up, then quickly followed up with a jab in the gut. OOF. I then stumble back holding my stomach. He psyched me out. Focus. All pay attention to your foe's movements. Anticipate and adapt. He spoke in a stern tone. Yes sir. I grumble, regaining my composure. And don't be afraid to use your quirk. Yes teacher. I ready myself again. Hey Stain sir ... How long do you plan to train me? When are your hero entrance exam? Stain asked. 10 months from now. Then that's how long you got to show me you're ready to pass it. The man crossed his arms. Gulp. A bead of sweat drops down my temple just thinking of 10 brutal months of this. Having second thoughts. And no. If this is what it takes to be a hero, I'll bear any pain or hardship. If I want to be a symbol of strength people look to for safety, then I have to be able to take anything that comes with a grin on my face. I shout proudly and furiously. Hey ha. Yes, that's it boy. Show who you are. Embrace true heroism. He smiled and praised me in a sort of fanatically way. We both resume our training. It was long, relentless, brutal, exhausting, and fun. Oddly, it was pretty thrilling. I liked the chill that went down my spine during it all. Is this what heroes feel when they're out in the field? If so ... It's amazing. I didn't get to train with my Kodachi today ... But then again, training my reflexes are kinda more important if I'm gonna train with a sword. You did well for a first time. You really know how to think fast and adapt. That will be a keen component in your long journey. He smirked proudly. I could feel spirits rise at my teacher's compliment. The feeling of joy overshadowed the pain of my aching body. Say when exactly will we spar with our swords? Also we'll be starting with wooden swords first. Stain's smile vanished and his strict mentor look returned. I will teach you swordsmanship once your reflexes, speed, agility, endurance and body sharply honed. The sword training will be much more meaningful if you're at a peaked condition. Also, we will not be starting with wooden swords. Out there, Midoriya. Everything is real and nothing is pulled. I want you to adapt quickly. I don't want you to get sloppy or make you let your guard down by allowing the fact that it's simple sparring with non-lethal weapons. He spoke with a low grim tone. It really sent chills down my spine. He was so intense. I want you to feel and experience the amount of sheer life-threatening danger you will be placed in as a hero. That fear will make you stronger. It's your life on the line and you need to think fast and act fast, or you're gonna die fast. His eyes burn with a furious intensity. I quickly nod despite the trembling of my body. Geez, Stain really must have gone through a lot. I can just see it in his eyes. Because it's the same look in my eyes. For so long. Hurt. With no one to turn to or rely on. I know the look anywhere. I understand. You seem to know the feeling. Better than most. Hesitation leads to ruin. Yeah, that sounds about right. Good, you're free for today. Take care, Midoriya, and be ready for tomorrow. Same time and place. Yeah, you too, teacher. I flash a smile. Stain smiles back faintly and leaps off into the trees. I then heave a sigh and go to change back into my regular clothes before heading back home. I should consider buying weights and other workout gear, now that this will be a thing from here on. No need to slack off once I get home. I should keep busy. Maybe think of new things to implement into my training. This is gonna be a long 10 months. Time skip, 1 month later. No one's POV. Stain threw punch after punch and kick after kick, but Izuku adeptly dodged them all. Stain then tried to leg sweep Izuku, but he hopped over his foot. But Stain followed up with high spin kick. Izuku ducked as his feet the ground from his hop. Stain then went for an uppercut, but Izuku leaned back, avoiding it. He then threw 2 jabs at Izuku's face, but he quickly tilted his head left and right to dodge them both. Stain ended his assault with front flip axe kick, but Izuku slid to the left, avoiding it. Very good. Your reflexes are acceptable. He bore a proud smile. Hey, you know it. Normally Izuku would be out of breath on panting on the ground by now, but he really had upped his stamina. He only stood with minor bruises, but overall triumphant. Go on home. We'll start on your body build tomorrow. Then once that's done we can get to combat training. He spoke, walking away. Izuku bowed and did as he was told. He smiled to himself on his way home. He was truly getting stronger. This was really happening. Izuku smiled to himself, but his smile was quickly diminished when he felt a hand quickly grab his shoulder harshly from behind. But his newfound instincts kick in and he spun around and leg swept the person, then quickly grabbed their arm, holding it up while placing his foot on their shoulder. Izuku then looks down to see the unknown person is Bakugo. Oh, Kanchan. Sorry you startled me. He smiled, letting go. Bakugo laid there for a few moments trying to process what just happened. Dek, you just drop him. The rage finally catching up, he stood up and was ready to scream his lungs off at him, but once his eyes raised back up, Izuku had already begun to walk off. Hey, don't you fucking ignore me. Sorry, Kanchan. Kinda busy. Maybe some other time. He shouts back as he rounds the corner, vanishing from Bakugo's line of sight. What the fuck just happened? The next day Izuku had arrived at the usual spot for him and Stain, but he instinctively ducked his head to the left, dodging a throwing knife being thrown at him. Good. Still expecting the unexpected even when told we'd be doing something different. What else did you expect? A cocky grin stretched across his face. Don't get too cocky. This is going to be even more difficult, Stain said with his signature icy glare. Izuku's confidence deflated a bit, but he kept strong. Now follow me. We'll be training in a different area of the woods. He then turned and walked off. Yes, sensei. Izuku followed closely behind, excited for what was to come. Upon arriving to the area, they were met with a river, and near it was a vast number of workout equipment. Some training tools made by hand, and some that straight up looked like medieval torture machines. I'm not too sure about this. Well, no turning back now. Didn't set all this up for nothing, kid. Now let's get cracking. Literally. 2 hours later. This is impossible. Izuku was straining with all his might in a harsh sweat to tug along the giant boulder Stain had strapped to his back. Come on, you've hardly moved it a few meters. Why yes, sir. 5 hours later. Well, we certainly have some ways to go here, Midoriya. He looked down at the exhausted boy collapsed on the ground. Well, you're groaning, so you're still alive. Do you want help getting home? And no just leave me here I'll move when I get the feeling back in my body. HMPH. Well, if you say so. Just hope the birds or any other beast of the wilds don't come and pick at you. I'll see you tomorrow, Midoriya. With that, Stain took his leave swiftly. Gh well I guess the saying's true and no pain gh and no gain hehe 5 months later. RAGH. 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 Izuku's muscles burned as he lifted 2 giant boulders by ropes hung from 2 trees. 497, 498, 499, 500. Izuku let go of both ropes and sprinted off at breakneck speed and toward the river. Reaching the river, he leaped very high in the air to the river and hopped off the large rock sticking out of it flawlessly. After getting to the other side, he ran up a tree and backflipped onto a branch, then continued to leap from through the trees, doing a bunch of acrobatics as he went. Izuku landed off in a clearing in the woods where Stain was sitting and waiting with a cup of ramen. Better time than yesterday, he said, placing his chopsticks inside the empty cup. Hey huff and s sweat. The boy gave a strained smile. Why don't you sit and rest? You look like you're ready to collapse. Again, not a bad idea. Ugh. The boy plopped down on the ground. Stain tossed him a bottle of water, to which the boy caught it quickly. Thanks. My mouth felt like sandpaper. He spoke up, uncapping the bottle and drinking from it. Say sensei, look sorry to go here again, but why do you always scowl and frown whenever I talk about the new heroes? It feels like you have this personal gripe with them. Sig, you really want to know, Midoriya? Fine. It's because they're all fakes. Phonies. They're not true heroes. Izuku's eyes widened and he paused for a moment. Did he just hear him right? Being a hero stopped being about selflessly putting your neck on the chopping board for the sake of right action a long time ago. Now it's just a simple job, a competition for some, an ego trip. They're either after fame or glory. All Might is the only true hero. He hissed. That's that's not true. Oh, but it is. If you've truly looked with both eyes peering behind the schemes, you would see. This generation has forgotten the true meaning of heroism, and the ones who have come to support this new shallow vow of heroism should be purged so they do not infect other generations to come. He spoke with such venom in his voice. You're wrong. What a Stain was then cut off by Izuku. I said you're wrong. The boy raised his voice a bit. Stain's eyes grew wide at his sudden outburst. You can't just do that. You can't just pass judgment down on the people of this generation like that. I understand how you feel and in ways I do feel like a lot of heroes are only in it for the financial support or popularity. But they all have their reasons, I'm sure. He spoke with a faint sense of sternness. Even if they didn't they're probably just lost and need help to see the light. Everyone in my eyes deserves a second chance, Izuku said with a tense stare. He only offered a blank stare. Oh geez, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap like that. He sweat dropped and held his hands up. No, it's okay, you just surprised me is all. Stain shook his head. Oh phew. For a second I thought I made you mad. Not at all. What you did do was give me some things to think about though. He gave a faint smile. Izuku smiled back brightly. Yeah, let's call it quits for today. Your body, speed and agility have all sharpened nicely. Combat is next. Be ready tomorrow. Stain stretched. Yes sir. He bowed. HMPH. Shizome. Stain spoke. Izuku, my name. It's Shizome Akaguro. Izuku's eyes lit up as he smiled at Stain for finally opening up. Thank you, Shizome. Izuku thanked him with a warm smile. Hey, just because I gave you my name doesn't mean to drop respect. Sorry sensei. Yes sir. He stammered. Haha, that's better. Go on home. The real hell starts tomorrow. He left without another word or glance. See ya. Izuku then laid on his back. Come on Izuku, don't get discouraged now. You wanted this. Remember, this is the final step to be ready for the long road up ahead. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yeah. Look forward to this. Ugh, I have got to stop talking to myself. He face-palmed. They say the line between light and dark. Good and evil is very thin. Harshly thin. Sometimes people drift without even realizing it. Good people can drift to do bad things because they believe it's right. Some villains who commit their vile acts believe they are in the right. How do we truly know what side we're really on? That's the true question. Can you stay on your path without straying? Midoriya will come face to face with this question one day. I'm sure of it. I'd like him to be able to answer the question for himself. Speaking of Midoriya, the words he spoke to me yesterday. They actually got to me. They still echo in my head. How intensely he spoke to me. He was always so passive and respectful of my words, but for the first time. He actually spoke back and called me out. I was honestly taken back. But however, he doesn't understand his concept of heroes lost its true meaning so long ago. Heroes of this generation only care about the spotlight, the money and influence they have. I won't say there aren't any true heroes out there. But the number fakes overshadow them. Soon those numbers will dwindle more and more until the title of hero becomes nothing more than a business brand. It was never about fame, money or position. It was simply doing the right thing for right's sake without expecting anything in return. To put your life on the line for any stranger if they needed help because it was right and nothing else. These new heroes. They must be purged before they forever kill the good all the other true heroes died to make. I do admire Izuku's devotion, but he's too naive to understand this head it's funny even after all he's been through he still wants to see the good in everything. Keeping that level of innocence is a rare thing, it is. Sigh but still even so why do his words just bother me so much? I can't stop thinking about them. No matter. His training is more important right now. I can't get sidetracked by this. I can't falter. 3 months later. No one POV. SYA. Izuku thrusted his short Kodachi sword forward in a stabbing motion at Stain only for him to parry it with his sword, and Izuku followed up with a lower sweep spin kick. Stain backflipped away, but as he landed Izuku was already upon him with outstanding speed and leaped at him with a 360 spin slash aimed at Stain's face. Stain rose his sword and blocked it, but Izuku halfway into the swing and spin spun his leg around for a roundhouse kick. Stain was caught off guard and Izuku's kick connected with his side. Stain grunted but quickly countered by slamming his palm into Izuku's side, sending him flying back, but he quickly recovered and backflipped 3 times before flipping onto a tree trunk and kicking off it and launching himself at Stain again. Izuku swung his sword horizontally at Stain's face, but he dodged it and headbutted Izuku back. Izuku quickly flipped his blade backwards and swung it down in a stabbing motion. Stain quickly reeled back to dodge it and swung his sword in a diagonal slash. Izuku swiftly threw his sword in the other hand and caught Stain's wrist mid-swing and slashed upward with his free hand that now held his blade. Stain swung his foot up, kicking Izuku's wrist and knocking the sword out of his hand and high into the air. Izuku grit his teeth and yanked Stain's wrist outward and swung his foot up at Stain's wrist, gaining the same effect as he did him. Stain's blade flew up high in the airs like Izuku's. They both headbutt each other at the same time and slide back. Feeling their blood boil, both ran at each other and engaged in a brief but furious barrage of hand-to-hand melee. Exchanging blow after blow, each connecting, dodging and parrying, both crossed fists, and both connected with each other's jaws. The two warriors reeled and spun back just in time to catch their blades from falling and clash together one last time before pressing both blades against one another. Huff ... Izuku panted with his heart pounding in his chest. Huff. Heavy. Very good. You anticipate my moves, and your accuracy and ability to adapt is uncanny. You are truly a prodigy. Stain spoke proudly. Hey. I just go with what I feel, eh? Izuku's instincts kicked again as Stain swiftly took out a throwing knife and tossed it straight at him, but he responded with turning his body into sludge, having the knife pass through him. Nice try. He scoffed with a smirk. Just making sure. Your reaction time with that quirk is getting better. He sighed, sheathing his sword. Yeah, feels almost second nature now. Like, I always had this quirk. The boy smiled, looking at his hand. Well, you do adapt extremely quickly, which is your most powerful skill overall. Yeah, I agree. I just go with what I feel Not the most intelligent answer, but hey. He shyly rubbed his arm. It's fine. Midoriya. Why yes sir. He straightened up at his sudden voice change. I thought about what you said to me back then and I'm curious. The line between light and dark is so thin. Right and wrong. Selfish and noble. Stain said, crossing his arms. You believe this new generation is simply misguided. Tell me how would you help them see what it truly means to be a hero? Asked Stain. The boy looked down at his feet, no blinking. He looked deep within himself for the answer. Well, nothing to sigh, he was cut off. I would show them. Izuku said, raising his head. I would show them what it truly means. Through my own actions I'll reteach the world the true meaning of hero. He spoke with unyielding spirit. Very well. I'll humor this. He tilted his head in confusion. I'll humor this. I want to see how far you can take this. I'm curious to see how far your devotion will take you, boy. So, prove me wrong, Izuku. I will. He beamed with joy. Stain let out a soft chuckle. Now then, I believe you've got the basics of combat down and mastered. Now for the final month. We will be powering up your quirk. Yeah, I honestly like this sludge quirk. Izuku smirked. Not that. Your original quirk. The quirk that allowed you to take that to begin with. He crossed his arms. But I would need to steal quirks. I can't go around taking people's quirks. True. That's why we're going to do a little vigilante night work. What? But that's against the law. Izuku became nervous. Keeping your city clean and safe is against the law. I understand the law against unlicensed use of quirks, but might I say it's a rather moronic law. I can't tell you how many tragic events I've seen and read about where people are killed due to this law preventing them from saving themselves or another. You could be attacked by a villain, and if you use your quirk even to defend yourself, you're still in danger of getting in trouble with the law. Or if you save someone when no hero was around to do anything. Does that seem fair? He had a point. Izuku was always indifferent about that law. He would be somewhat okay with it if there was a law protecting people who did it out of self-defense or to save another due to the absence of a hero, but no. They're just wasn't. Oh okay B, but what are we supposed to be doing? Testing your quirk. We can test if you can take and hold more than one quirk and so on. So, I would be depowering villains. That does sound pretty good. Making sure they can't use their quirks to hurt anyone anymore by taking them away does seem pretty fitting for villains. Izuku felt an odd chill of excitement go down his spine. Okay, I'll do it. But only one night okay. I still want to be a good hero so I can't break the law too much but I do believe in doing bad to do good at times he. Very good. Sometimes heroes have to go against rules to do some good. The thing is about true heroes they're willing to take on darker roles for the greater good and even willing to shoulder the burdens that come with it. True heroes take on this gauntlet so no one else has to. Yeah they shoulder burdens that are too much for others. The green-haired boy said. That is correct sigh if only that philosophy was still as strong as it was back then. He sighed. It will be again. Just have hope. Hope is the best thing we've got, believe it or not. Stain couldn't help but smile at Izuku's charisma. Very well, I shall. Now then head home and rest up. Come back here at midnight. Right. I'm sure I can sneak out without waking my mom. Good. Farewell for now Midoriya and thank you. It's been a while since I had hope in this generation. He turned. Why you're welcome and he's gone. Before Izuku could even finish his sentence, Stain had leaped up into the trees and out of sight. Heh, sensei. The boy smiled warmly to himself as he turned walk home. Somewhere 9 months earlier. SPOV. Ugh. My head was killing me. I slowly opened my eyes to be met with a white ceiling. I look around to see I'm in a hospital room. Sieg. You're probably wondering who I am and why I'm here. Well, first off my name is Minoru Mina and as for why I'm here, well, I nearly died trying to save Mount Lady from this psycho knife-throwing crow guy. I know that all sounds a bit crazy, but I assure you this did happen. The only reason me or her are still alive right now is because All Might came and swooped in and saved us. However, Crow Dude got away. As All Might told me when I finally came to yesterday. My mom was crying her eyes out when I woke up yesterday. Apparently that knife the crow guy hit me with was poison. But I'm okay. Mount Lady 2. Then the luckiest thing happened for me. All Might was actually moved that I risked my life for Mount Lady even though I knew I was probably gonna fail. And then he showed me his big secret. And phew. Was it a huge secret? He told me about his quirk and his injury. And that he can only be the symbol of peace for a short amount of time. So long story short. His time is running out. And he needs a successor. And he asked me. Of all people. Now people don't really have a high opinion of me and I'm well aware of this. Half of it is well deserved and the other half is because I'm just too easy to make fun of. To be honest. The only reason I wanted to be a hero is because I wanted girls to like me. And saying it now. It does sound pretty pathetic. Compared to other heroes' reasoning for being what they are. After my near-death experience and All Might of all people offering me the chance to change, I think I have a foggy image of my new reasoning to be a hero. I still want to be cool but I'll become cool so people like me, losers, people who are small and believe they can never amount to anything, can become cool too if they try hard enough. Yeah. That sounds noble enough. I know it's only a step. But a step is better than nothing at all. I have a long way to go before I become the person I want to be. Sieg. I should be free to go today. Other than the knife wound leaving a nasty scar on my chest and the poison, healing quirks are really something. Gotta say the scar looks kinda badass. Live and learn, am I right? I then heard the door open. I expecting to see my mom but it turned out to be All Might himself. And in his deflated form as I'm calling it. He smiled lightly and came to sit next to my bed. Hey kid. You doing okay? All Might came in and put a hand on my shoulder. Yeah, minor pain in the chest but I can deal with it. You. All Might then buffed up into his beefcake form and have a hearty laugh. Never better. Hey blah. He then quickly deflated again and coughed up some blood. Dude, seriously stop doing that. I sighed. Cough. Sorry. Well, I heard from the doctors, you may be released today. That's good. I'm sure your mother will be relieved. He smiled. Yeah, oh boy, it took a lot for the staff to make her go home to let me rest. It just shows how much she loves you. What of your father? Did he hear what happened? Never knew him. I say very flatly. Oh. Sorry. His shoulders slumped down. It's okay. I've just come to terms with it. Yes. Well, him. Moving on. Once you're released, I understand if you'd like a little time before we get into training. That was a very traumatic exp. Nah, I'm good. We can get right to it after I get out of here. I stretch. Are you sure? I mean. You did almost die, Maida. Hey. One thing you should know about me. I'm glutton for punishment. I can take on and keep going. Trust me. Oh man. I got a real trooper here. He chuckled, running a hand through his hair. Just been through a lot already. I'm used to it. I shrugged. Well, they say experience is the best teacher. Yay. Sigh. You okay there? He asked, looking concerned. Yeah, just a bit groggy from waking up. I rubbed the back of my neck. HMPH. Happy to know you're all okay. When you get released today, come to the beach. I'll be waiting. PFFF if my mom doesn't drag me home and lock me in my room. I joked a bit given how protective my mom can get at times. Hi. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. He smiled and left the room. With that, I let my head plop back onto the pillow of my hospital bed. Sigh. This is really happening, huh? Maita, please for once in your life. Don't mess this up. I shut my eyes again, letting sleep take over. Back to the present day. Izuku's POV. I managed to sneak out of the house around midnight. Mom is usually passed out by this time and she's become a very heavy sleeper as of late, which is great for me in this scenario. After I made it to our meeting place, Stain was waiting for me, of course, and he was holding something. It looked like clothes. Teacher. I walked up smiling. There you are. Here, change into this. Gonna wanna keep your identity secret for this, he said, handing me an outfit. Yes, sir. I then went to change into what he brought for me. It was close looking to his, but he gave me a long red cloak and a white mask. I then placed the hood on. This looks pretty cool. Like the cloak and mask. I smiled to myself, strapping my kodachi to my waist. Sieg. This for a good cause. This is for a good cause. I breathed to steel myself. I then returned to Stain. Does it fit okay? Yeah, it does. Perfectly, really. I smiled, stretching around in my outfit. Okay, that's a relief. He smiled at me. How did you know my size though? I asked, rather curious. Shut up. Let's go. He spoke dismissively and walks off. Okay. I shrug it off and follow. No one's POV. Stain and Izuku are running and hopping onto rooftops with Stain as leading. So you think we'll find anything around here? Yes, there aren't many heroes who patrol around here, so thugs like to meet up in the allies here. Makes sense. So I guess we're doing good by taking care of the criminals that go under the radar. Yeah, think of it like that. Izuku smiled behind his mask and eagerly followed Stain until he came to a stop on the side of a rooftop, staring down. He stopped behind him and gazed down with him down into an alleyway. 3 thugs stood in the alleyway speaking. Ugh, what a pain. One thug groaned. Yeah, we defiantly would have nabbed that kid if that fucking backdraft hadn't shown up. Another spoke. Would have been easy ransom money, said the 3rd thug. Izuku's eye twitched hearing this. He already hated people who hurt innocent people for their own benefit, but children. Okay, their quirks are mine. He hissed in a low voice. Calm yourself. In anger you defeat only yourself. Stain spoke lowly as well. Sieg. Yes, teacher. Let's do this. He unsheathed his kodachi. Stain nodded and unsheathed his sword and jumped down on the entrance to the alleyway, and Izuku landed next to him. What the shit? A hero. The 1st thug spoke. He's got a fucking kid with him. The 2nd thug said. Go for the kid. The 3rd thug pointed his arm Izuku and it began to morph. His hand receded back, his arm expanded and cannon barrels formed around his arm and one in the middle. Wow. Izuku jumps high up to avoid the missiles that launched from the arm barrels. Stain dodged out the way as well. He thought taking to the rooftops. He thought landing on the wall of the alleyway and bouncing off it and at the missile-armed thug. Izuku then spun and twisted in midair to dodge 3 more missiles the thug sent at him. Izuku then kicked the thug across to the face. As the thug spun around, staggered, Izuku landed and leg swept the thug down and impaled his kodachi through his leg. Izuku smirked and ducked an attack from one of the other thugs. Izuku was surprised to see a werewolf-like creature wearing the thug's clothes. Izuku. He backflipped backwards and sprinted forward and slashed the wolf thug's side, then ducked another swing, then stabbed his blade into his arm, before flip-kicking him in the jaw, sending him flying and onto his back. Izuku then locked eyes onto the last thug and he was banging his fist against the ally wall, and with each bang a purple glow radiated off him. Izuku thought. The thug then sprinted at Izuku and threw a punch. Izuku dodged left and slashed his side, but his blade didn't damage him as much. It still cut, but not as much as it should have. The thug then swung his arm and Izuku rose his arm up to block and placed his other free hand against his blocking arm for more support. The thug's strike was a lot stronger than he thought. Izuku felt a painful sting as his strike connected with his arm, and the force was great enough to make him slide back. Ugh. The thug started banging his fist against the wall again. Izuku quickly sprinted at him at stop speed. The thug readied himself for Izuku's attack. Izuku then lunges forward and turned into sludge and engulfed the thug. The thug struggled and struggled, but it was all in vain as Izuku suffocated him enough to knock him out. Izuku then released him and reverted back to normal. Izuku smiled triumphantly and stomped the other 2 thugs unconscious. Well, that was easy. He smiled, sheathing his blade. Stain dropped down and started clapping. Color me impressed. You didn't slip up or hesitate despite this being a real actually battle. It's like you said. Hesitation leads to ruin. Happy to see you took that to heart. Of course, teacher. Why would I not? Right? Well then, good job, Midoriya. Now then, claim your prizes. Izuku chuckled as he went from thug to thug stealing their quirks. Izuku felt an odd wave of satisfaction feeling their power be added to his. He could feel the power surge within him. Now let's see. His morphed his hand into the missile launcher, then a werewolf arm, then banged his fist on the ground to see a green aura radiate off him. Amazing. I can hold multiple quirks. You could become quite the powerhouse. Yeah, I could, but for justice. Stain chuckled. Come. That's all for tonight. Let's get out of here before any heroes show up. Oh right. Yeah, let's scram. Izuku and Stain climbed up to the rooftops and hopped from building to building onto the night. Izuku's POV. It was misty star-filled moonlit night. The city's melody filled the night, the occasional swoosh of a car. The crickets chirping, and every so often the sound of police sirens echoing in the distance. The lights of the city lit up the place like the stars did the sky. The hours seemed to drag on like a State Hero Society doubleheader. Me and my mentor Stain sat and watched the devils dance in the pale moonlight. Stain had always been a complex mystery to me, but overall he was a good guy. Even if he wouldn't admit it. Why he chose to teach an average Joe like me is beyond me, but I'm not really complaining. Before all this I was just some merc you'd never really notice, within the black and white painting known as the crowd. I honestly didn't stand out that much. Yet somehow Lady Luck finally swung my way. Luck can be cruel or merciful. I've been on both ends of her and I gotta say she's a real riot, and why am I talking like a detective in some black and white movie? Ugh. Well, either way today went well. I got new powers and my training is just about done. I'm well on my way to becoming a hero. All thanks to Stain. I swear. I will thank him for this somehow. But for now, I got a goal to strive for. These 9 months have been torture for me. I'm not really the most physically fit. So cleaning an entire beach and carrying and pushing heavy crap is pretty taxing for me. However, despite the agonizing startup. It got easier over time and I started to bulk up a lot. I was never that motivated to work out, but All Might just kinda, I dunno, pushed me to do so. I started working out at home and even used my allowance to buy training gear, instead of spending it on doujins and other things I rather not mention. Speaking of said things, I actually started to clean out my room a bit. I kept a few things for myself, but I boxed up and got rid of a lot of other stuff. Look, I can't lie when I say I'm a massive perv, but if I'm gonna reach the bar All Might set for me, I gotta shape up. This is a once-in-lifetime chance. So I gotta cut back with my stupid habits. And looking back on things now. What girl would like my creep ass? I feel like this whole thing. My near-death experience. All Might choosing me. My training. It's all opened my eyes to a bigger picture. I'll show the real me. And I know people will think I'm cool. And then when they see a joke like me can go from zero to hero. It'll inspire them to try their best to rise up and become cool too. That's what I want. And a girlfriend still wouldn't be bad. But can't rush that one. Well, it's gonna be a struggle getting over my habits and urges, but hey, effort. Even if I get over them. Most girls wouldn't date me because of my height. Seriously, come on, don't judge a man for something he can't help. Sayig. Well, at least my new muscle build can make up for my size, cause damn do I look good. Okay, getting a bit off topic. But basically things really need to change with me. I can't keep on like this. I've taken on a huge mantle now. So some things gotta change. I'm now the bearer of one for all. The secret of All Might's power. He originally wanted to grant me this power at the end of next month, but he decided to give to me a month early. He said he wanted to give me some time to test one for all, and also because he said I seem to catch on to things quickly. I mean, I'm actually smarter than people give me credit for. I say it makes up for my size. I can really be smart when I don't have girls on my mind. Well, I got bigger things on my mind now. Figuring out how the hell to use this power without wrecking myself. All Might told me I can't use all of its power, cause if I did. My body basically explode. The first time I used it as a test run, I broke my arm. Good thing All Might is good friends with Recovery Girl. I always dreamed of a nurse kissing my wounds. Not quite what I got. But hey, she saved me a crap ton of healing time, so I can't really complain. I finally get done cleaning out a lot of the pervy crap in my room, and Jesus, this was a lot. I really do have a problem. I really am like my mom. It's why I never met my dad. My mom was unfaithful. Look, don't get the wrong idea, my mom is a great mom. She loves me, cares for me, listens to me, and will go out of her way for me. She's a great mom, it's just she can't seem to stay loyal to one man. Even so, I still love her. She's all I have and she cares for me. No one's perfect. Speaking of fathers, All Might has kinda been like one to me, looking out for me, teaching me, keeping me in line. But I never said this to his face, of course. Not pulling the pin on that awkwardness grenade. So I'll keep it to myself for now. Okay, I'll write in my journal really fast and get to training with One for All. 15 minutes later. After recorded the events of today thus far into my journal, I got dressed in my favorite purple hoodie, dark blue jeans, and white sneakers. With that I head to the open woods near the park where I wouldn't be bothered or bother anyone. I figured I'd call All Might and ask him to meet with me for this boot. I wanted to try and see if I could get a bearing on One for All myself. If I can he'll be so impressed. Okay, let's start with what I know. I know for a fact I can't use 100% of One for All, otherwise bones go crunch, crunch, snap, snap. It's a lot of power surging through me. It's supposed to amplify my psychical abilities a lot. Okay, what can I pull from all that? Not a lot. Other than don't use too much power. Oh wait, that's actually it. Don't use too much power. It's kinda like Goku's Kaioken. I then take a position and close my eyes. Okay. All Might said with my state now. 0.5% power is probably all I can handle for now until I get more training and experience with it. So I'll do just that, and not just through one arm for a quick attack. Through my whole body. Okay, Minoru. Imagine a flame. A flame on a candle. Imagine One for All is the flame and the candle is you. Imagine the flame growing stronger but not too strong to melt the candle. Not too strong to break you. I then channel a small portion of One for All through my whole body. I feel a heat inside me. A warmth rather than a burning sensation than last time. I revile in it. Keep the flame strong. Calm and steady. As the candle. Hold the flame. Maintain it. You are the conduit for it to keep burning. I then feel that warmth overtake my body. As I open my eyes, I'm surrounded by a purple aura. And faint small crackles of purple static dance around me. I was almost there. Time to bring it on home. Let the flame breath, but do not let it grow too big. Keep it low but alive. Here I go. One for All. With a mighty shout, I bask fully in the 5% of One for All and completely let it flow forth like a river throughout me. Red marks appears on my body as the power processed through my body, and I felt a slight sting. But I wasn't gonna back down. That purple static then became violent and alive, and the purple aura gained more life. Huff. Huff. I stand there radiating One for All's excess energy. I feel pretty damn good right now. I felt like 5% wouldn't be much, but this feels intense. That or because I'm not used to feeling strong at all. Either way, time to test this out. What to try out first? I guess agility. I then take a deep breath and crouch down, preparing for a jump. I make sure to keep focus of the energy surging through me. I then take another breath before launching off the ground. And shooting up 20 feet in the air. Jesus, for 5% this is pretty freaking strong. Whoa. I do a few spins and flips while in midair, then brace myself for the fall. When I came back down, I made small cracks in the ground when I landed. I didn't feel much pain. I was expecting it to hurt a bit more, but no. He. This is freaking sweet. Okay, speed. I then take a running position. I focus and steady my breathing. I then take off sprinting at breakneck speed. I was zipping across the ground like a speedster. This was awesome. I then run right into a tree face first and fall on my ass. I can feel the power up fade as I sat on the ground holding my nose in pain. I don't think I'm bleeding though. Ag. Damn it, that hurt. I groaned standing up. And the power shut off. Though I'm not surprised. I kinda did break focus. Okay, that can't happen. It'll be bad if I lose focus every time I get hit or slip up. Okay. Think. I surf my brain for anime and video game quotes that could give me an idea. Okay, inner focus. Okay, Minoru. Imagine a barrier around the flame. The barrier is your focus. You have to keep it strong to keep the wind distractions from blowing it out. Block it out. Block out distractions. Block out the wind. Let's try that again. Protect the flame. Minoru. Your focus is the barrier. I then channel that 5% power again a bit faster than the first time. Okay, let's run that back. I then look at the tree ran into. There was a bit of a crack in it. Was that from me hitting it? Okay, let's try strength. I then clench my right fist and steady my breathing once again. My breathing is an important part to my focus. I then reel my arm back. I then thrust my fist forward and slam it into the tree in front of me. And a massive crack in the tree, caving in a good bit of the bark. When I pull my fist back, there was an imprint of my fist in the caved-in wood. Yes. I then keep it up and send rapid-fire punches at the tree, caving in the bark even more with each hit until the tree toppled over. Now that is amazing. Super fast, super agility and speed. I smirk. At least now I have a more powerful quirk to rely on than pop off. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a useful quirk if you use it right. It's just sometimes it can be hard to set up is all. One for All will help me with that. And maybe now I can finally push his quirk out of my head. I'm never using it again. If Dad was angry at Mom for cheating, that's fine. But he didn't have to abandon me. So if he wants to forget me, forget him too. And his quirk. I think that's what it was. I dunno. Mom won't talk about it. A part of me wants to believe he had a just reason, while another part wants to be mad at him for being a no-show all my life. I don't know his face or his name. Maybe it's just the bitterness. Hell if I know. All I know is, I don't know how to feel about it. It makes me confused and lost, and all just turns into frustration. Then rage. Sieg. Alright, that's enough dwelling on that. I shake my head and get back on track. Let's try climbing next. I have experience there. Running from bullies or angry girls. Who knew the fruits from my rotten luck and bad habits would actually contribute to something? I then take a breath and leap off the ground and grab onto a tree. I quickly kick off it and latch into another. I leap off again and reach out to grab a tree branch, however I miss it and fall. I quickly reach up and pop a sticky ball off my head and slam it down on a tree to stop the fall. I halt and dangle there from the tree. Phew. Pop-off saves me again. I then let go and land safely onto the ground. All the while, I still kept control of One for All. All Might is gonna be so stoked about this. In fact, I then quickly text All Might and ask him to meet me at the beach for a big surprise. After he texted me back agreeing, I quickly sped off, still in the 5% cloak. HMM. I got it. I know what to call this. Full cal. Excelsior. I then speed the rest of the way to the beach to meet up with All Might. I was able to reach the beach in just 3 minutes. Geez, this technique will spare me a whole lot of time in future. However, of course, All Might was there first, but not in his beefcake form. When I arrived, I was still in full cowl and he seemed really surprised to see me. Mighta, All Might said in a baffled tone. Hey all boss, check it out. I call it full cowl. 5% of one for all surging through my body at once. I then jump up and down super high and run in circling around at high speed to show it off. That's incredible, Mighta. You just got this power and you've already made such great progress. He beamed with joy. He then knelt down to me and put his hands on my shoulders, smiling wider than ever. Mighta, I'll be completely honest with you. At first, I wasn't too sure about you. His smile dropped. And his tone hardened. My heart kinda felt pricked after that, but given our startup, I can't really blame him at all. Had to tell me off a few times due to my antics. For a small bit, I felt like I made a mistake. He hung his face down slightly, not looking me in the eyes. My heart really sunk hearing that. But I kept my smile to be strong. But I take that all back. I know I made the right choice. I know this now more than ever. Me choosing YOU. Was right. He looked it again in the eyes, smiling with that big old grin of his. Heh. Thanks all boss. I'm gonna give it 150% from here on. I say, pumping my fist. Good my boy. Good. Come on. Let's go get something to eat, my treat. He stood up. I in the mood for takoyaki. I hummed. Funny, I was thinking the same. Say All Might. Remember when I told you my reasoning for wanting to be a hero? Yes. You said it was so girls would think you're cool. I ducked my head a bit hearing it come from his mouth. Why yeah well. That's different now. I still want to be cool, but I'll become cool. To inspire other people who think they're losers to become cool themselves. I think that's a fine goal. He smiled. Really? Of course. It's always nice to inspire those without much confidence in themselves. Awesome. He. Come on, let's get going. This full cowl thing has got me starving. I chuckle. All Might let out a hearty laugh as we both walked off to get some food. I swear, I won't mess this up. With Izuku and Stain. Izuku's POV. I know I told Stain that one night of vigil work was going to be it for, but I just had to try it again. I can't deny it felt good to do so. It felt good to dish out some street justice. And he. I really wanted some more quirks. I mean, I am going to UA. I should get as strong I could be. Yeah, and if I'm going to be the world's greatest hero, I need to be powerful. It only makes sense, right? Yeah, this is for the future. I chuckle as I walked towards some petty drug dealer who was backing up away from me. Me and Stain had tracked down these shady drug peddlers to put an end to their deeds. We found them in this abandoned warehouse. There were 6 of them. All with amazing quirks. One with invisibility, one with a decoy clone, one with a damage reduction quirk, one with flight, one with a water creature transformation. And one with a quirk much like Bakugo's but with frost instead. I made them all mine. Expect this one in front of me. The frost explosion thug. He still had fight left in him, but he knew he was done. I fiddle around with a steel marble in my hand and charge it with kinetic energy and flick it at him. It goes flying, and when it connects, it erupts in a green shock wave, blowing him back and into a wall. I've gotten real good with the kinetic energy manipulation quirk. I then stroll up to the thug who was barely conscious. I then drain away his quirk, and once again. That spine-tingling pleasure went down my back again. That makes 10 sensei. I feel so much stronger. Not only that, we're making the bad guys fear more than heroes. HMPH. I see. He spoke, sounding not too amused. If we keep on, I could become so much powerful. And no villain could ever stand up to me. I smiled to myself and reviled in my new power. My right. This W. I then stopped mid-sentence. What am I saying? What I'm doing. This. I sent me. The boy smiled, faltered. What's not you? Stain finally seemed eager to talk. THIS. What I'm saying. What I'm thinking. What I'm doing. I'm slowly corrupting myself. The boy was conflicted. Sensei, we have to stop this. And no more vigil work. And no more me taking quirks to fill a greed and lying to myself to believe I'm slowly becoming something I'm not. A hero would never do these things. His face and voice seeped with shame. I'm giving into this hunger I feel inside. And I don't like it. If I keep going like this, I'll lose something every important to me. Good. Happy to see I was wrong. Stain smiled, walking up. I did this to test you. I wanted to how strong this generation was when it came to fighting temptation. I knew you would feel that hunger. That greed. And I wanted to see if you had the will to overcome it and remember your true goal. And you have. I was getting worried for a moment that all my time and effort put into you was for naught, but I was wrong. You once again have proven to me this generation is still salvageable. I couldn't help but smile behind my mask. Sensei really was a stand-up guy. So, I'll give this generation another chance. But you keep proving it's worth something and that the fakes of this society can change. Otherwise I will pick up where I left off. He gave a cold stare. All right, sir. See, come on, let's leave these guys for the police, then maybe get some ramen together. Not a bad idea, but you're paying. Oh, of course. Kidding. Let's go. He patted my shoulder, smirked, and walked out the warehouse. I chuckled and followed close behind. I promise, Sensei, I won't let you down. I'm gonna be a hero. A true hero. I don't doubt it. You just have that spark in you. Heh. I feel that spark too. Good. Let it guide you. I will. Master, the power I have now is more than enough to start the true steps of my journey. I've had to battle with temptation and fight back greed. I almost lost, but I found myself again. Geez, it really is strong, the hunger, it's a bit scary really. However, I'm not alone. I have people who support me, and a teacher. A good teacher, to show me the way. The entrance exams will be here soon enough, time to make my big debut. Izuku and Minoru stood outside the gate to the testing grounds with all the other student hero course candidates. The two boys were simply scoping out all the other students that were here to take the exam. Izuku, he scoffed, running a hand through his fluffy hair. Minoru, he sighed, doing a few quick stretches. The cut and dry version of the exam was, defeat as many villains as possible to gain points. They were going to be robots, so this shouldn't be too hard for the two. They both thought the boy with short blue hair and glasses was a bit high-strung but oddly amusing. Izuku then looked over to the side and saw Minoru stretching. Izuku thought he was pretty short for his age range, but he wasn't one to judge, He noticed he seemed kinda nervous, And man, oh man, had he been there before so many times. He could just tell it won someone when he say it. Hey, Izuku called out to Minoru. The shorter boy looked over at Izuku. Yeah, you. You nervous? Izuku asked. Sheesh, was I being that obvious? Minoru rubbed the back of his head. No, it's just know it when I see it. Trust me, been there, done that. Izuku shared. Well yeah, I guess I am a bit but that won't scare me off. Minoru showed some bravado. That's good. You've come this far. Don't back down now. Izuku patted his shoulder. Haha. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. The purple-haired boy tilted his head. Izuku Midoriya. Minoru Maita. He looked up, smiling. Hey, good luck out there. Izuku gave Minoru a thumbs up. You too, man. Minoru smiled. Okay, dudes and dudettes. Let's get this psychedelic, funky, fresh party started. Present Mike's voice doomed on the pa. Game time. The green-haired boy smirked, taking a position. Minoru then crouched down a bit and went full cow. Both Izuku and Minoru shouted in their minds. As the immense doors opened to the testing decoy city, the students all rushed in. Mina quickly zipped off in a bright purple blur ahead of the other students. Izuku then quickly took the sky and flew over ahead of the other students. The teachers observing the students. Man, this batch of students sure look like hella bumping. Mike expressed his excitement. Well, they certainly seem to have energy. Vlad said, observing the batch of contestants. HMBH. Aizawa wasn't very impressed. Yes, quite a lively bunch. Midnight licked her lips. All Might prayed. That green-haired boy is a quirk of flight. Don't get many of those quirks nowadays. Snipe said. All Might pondered. Izuku scanned around and saw some robots nearby and smirked. Here we go. Izuku dived bomb down to the crowd of robots. Izuku turned both arms into missile shooters and crossed both arms, then let loose a barrage of missiles that tore through 5 robots. Next he jumped over one, attacking him from the back, then fired down on it, destroying it. Skillfully he landed on one's head, then jumped off it and fired missiles back, destroying that one too. Next he did a flip and landed on his feet, then sprinted forward holding both arms forward, and firing a volley of missiles that plowed through all robots charging his way. All Might paused. Wow. 2 quirks. Man, he got the sweet god roll on his quirk genetics. Mike shouted. I agree. Being able to fly and hail missiles is a very powerful combination. Vlad spoke. Izuku backflipped and took some steel marbles from his pockets. He charges them up with kinetic energy, flicks them at a few robots' heads. The force of the charged marbles exploding on contact and blowing a good chunk of their heads off. He instinctively spun around and thrusted his palm forward at the robot behind him and unleashed a big frigid blast of frost and ice from his palm. Frost froze bits of the robot and jagged ice shards dug into the machine, tear it apart. Frost mist seeped from his hand. Midnight was at a loss for words. That was more than 2 quirks. He has 4, maybe even more. Aizawa spoke. But how? That's not possible. How can he have multiple quirks? Snipe questioned. All Might tensed up, looking at Izuku on the monitor as he stared at his hand as frost radiated off it. A quick flash of red and black static danced around his arm. All Might shot wide open. He gripped his damaged side as he felt a bead of sweat go down his temple. Quite the peculiar child. I wonder what he will bring. All Might. Nezu noticed All Might deep in thought. All Might contemplated. All Might. Nezu spoke more loudly, snapping the hero out of his daze. Yes, sir. All Might answered, stammering. I see this child here has you very tense. Try and calm down. Let's see where this goes. Yes, Nezu suggested. Yes, sir. All Might responded. I'm getting better. Izuku's smile grew ear to ear. Deku. An explosion erupted in the distance. Of course, he sighed, shoving his hands in his pockets and turning. He was met with an extremely angry Bakugou stomping up to him with explosions crackling off his hands. Izuku kept a rather stoic expression as he drew closer, which only angered the blonde more. Sigh. What is it now? Izuku sighed. Bakugou then grabbed his collar and began shouting. You fucking two-faced loser. You've been hiding all this power this whole damn time. The blonde's eyes seeped with rage. Oh yes, I faked being powerless all these years as some tasteless joke. He rolled his eyes with his voice dripping with sarcasm. Don't fucking play dumb with me. You've been laughing at me this whole time. Looking down on me. Thinking I was weak. Thinking I wasn't worth using your power on. Weren't you? The blonde roared. Get over yourself. He then shoved Bakugou back with surprising strength. I have never once looked down on you. All I ever was to you was a friend. I was always nice to you, even despite your rotten self-centered attitude. You no matter what ... you are just cruel, mean-spirited and an overall asshole of a human being. I have never ever looked down on you or laughed at you, but you know what? Now I do. Because I pity you now. You are a sad little boy. A pathetic loser who has to put himself above others, put them down and even torment them just to feel good about himself. You were always an asshole, and guess what? Your quirk made you an even bigger one. I don't know what delusions of grandeur go through your head, but keep them away from me. I have no further interest to humor you in your superiority complex. I just want to move with my life and not be dragged down by you anymore. You don't want to be friends. Fine. Suffer in silence just like you want. I don't care. Bakugou could only stand there, eyes wide open and a look of ... uncertainty ... Was this the same boy he always walked over? Just leave me alone. The next time you try picking on me, it's not going to end well for you. Because now I start standing up for myself. Izuku then turned to walk away. You ... you piece of shit, don't you walk away from me. The blonde cocked his hand back, ready to unleash an explosion. I wouldn't if I were you. We're all being watched and we're supposed to be fighting the robots, not each other. If you attack me, I'm fairly certain you'll ruin your chances of getting accepted into UA. Izuku said. Tch ... whatever ... get in my way again and you're meat. Always remember I'll always be better than you. Better than any of you extras. He scoffed. Yuha. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Bakugou. Have a nice day. Izuku waves goodbye, walking off. Punk. Bakugou then storms off. Oh thank goodness. I was afraid we'd have to intervene there. Nezu spoke in relief. That blonde's temper and arrogance is very undesirable. Vlad sneered. And can be very dangerous. Midnight added in. Yes, it's a danger to both him and whoever works with him ... but he has potential. The other boy as well. Aizawa said. Yes, All Might prayed. Minoru as he sprinted noticed a robot up ahead. He lunged forward at the robot. He then thrusted his foot forward and slammed his foot into the droid's face, caving it in and making it fall over. Nice. Minoru spotted another group of robots and smirked. Minoru threw out some sticky balls at their feet, in which they stepped on them and became trapped. Next he lunged forward again like a rocket, then kicked another one's head in. He bounced off it and delivered a solid punch onto another robot's head, making it cave in. After that he placed both feet on it, then bounced off it and delivered a spin kick to the last trapped robot. Minoru then pounced off and landed on his feet. Phew, that was rad. Minoru cheered, pumping his fist in the air. All Might thought. Hi-agh. Without warning, Minoru gets swatted away by a robot from behind. His vision dazed and he could feel the flame of full cowl slowly fade as he flew ... His glow got dimmer. His glow reignited to full slender and he covered in the air, doing a flip and landing on his feet, sliding a bit. My turn. He then crouched down and dashed forward at great speed and slammed both feet into the robot's chest, caving it in and sending it crashing into a building. Phew. Okay, let's not have that happen again. Minoru rubs his head. Okay, I think I got enough points to pass ... Everything went surprisingly well. Heh. Don't think anything can put a damper on this hot streak. Just then, thunderous booms can be heard approaching. Why do I even talk? Minoru cursed himself. What's going on? Izuku looked around. Ready or not, students. Here comes the big bad boss. Mike yelled. Just then a gigantic robot storms through the test grounds, tearing down a few buildings. This one is the 0-point villain. Be best to ignore him. Mike announced. That is the 0-point. I call bull. Minoru yelled. That's oddly much for a villain worth 0 points. Izuku spoke, walking up to Minoru. Hello again. He smiled. Huh, Midoriya. Hey ... What do we do about that guy? He frantically pointed at the giant robot. Well, it isn't worth anything and I've got the points I needed. You? Why yeah. Minoru answered. Well then, I guess just avoid it. No reason to fight it really, said Izuku. Ugh, help, I'm stuck. A girl yelled, trapped underneath some debris as the giant robot gained closer to her. Oh, me and my mouth. Izuku gritted his teeth. Know how it feels. Trust me. Minoru rolled his eyes. Change of plans. Destroy it. Izuku then took out a steel marble from his pocket and put it between his pointer finger and thumb in a flicking position. He then aimed his arm at the robot and his arm glowed harshly green as he transferred all the kinetic he had stored up into the marble. Got any big attacks, Minda? Well. But I haven't really had a chance to test it. Well, now would be great. A life's on the line. Izuku shouted. Okay, I'll do it. He then quickly put his hands together. The static from Full Cow then slowly drifted between his palms and formed a small ball of purple energy. What's this? All Might leaned forward in his seat in anticipation. The sphere grew bigger between Minoru palms and static crackled around it. Ugh, someone, please. She closed her eyes as the robot lowered its hand down to crush her. Now, railgun. Izuku flicked the marble and a shock wave erupted from his fingers as the marble was sent flying like bullet cloaked in a green light. Burst. Minoru thrusted his palms forward and the sphere of energy shot out from his hands like a cannonball. Both attacks soared through the air and up to the giant robot's head. Once both attacks collided, a massive explosion engulfed its head and it was repelled backwards with great force. WOWZA. Talk about a combo attack. Mike screamed. Hehe. Yes. That's right. Show who you are. Embody what it means to be a hero. All Might chanted. All Might yelled in his thoughts. It was awesome. Not bad, Minda. Not bad at all. He praised the small boy running to the girl in need. Man, that was like a team attack in a video game. So amazing. I didn't even think that was going to work. He cheered, following close behind Izuku. Hey, you okay there? Izuku asked in a soft tone, helping the rosy-cheeked girl out the wreckage. Yeah. Anything broken? Minoru helped out. Ugh. No. Thanks to you too. Thanks. That was so incredible. She praised them both with a warm smile. Hey. It's just what a hero would have done. Izuku said, smiling. Yeah. And no need to thank us. But a name would do nice. Minoru wiggled his eyebrows. Oh, I'm okay. Achako Uraraka. The girl introduced herself. Cute name for a cute girl. Minoru smirked. Well. She is pretty cute. Izuku shyly agreed. W.I. Oh, come on, stop it, you two. You're making me all flushed. She rubbed her arm, blushing a bright red. Sorry. Izuku said. I'm Minoru Maita. Izuku Midoriya and I'm happy you're okay, Uraraka. Would be a shame if anything happened to you. He spoke so solemnly. Uraraka felt her heart skip a bit. Minoru said in his thoughts. Ding. Time's up, kiddies. Exam over. Mike yelled over the pa. Guess your time's up. I hope you got enough points to pass Uraraka. Also Mina. We make a good team. I really hope we see each other at UA. You know what? I agree. Same here, man. Minoru smiled, putting his fist out to Izuku. Izuku smiled and fist bumped him. Well, I'm off. Hope to see you two again. Izuku chuckled and walked off. A few other student candidates eyeing him in awe at his and Minoru's display. Minoru could feel eyes on him too. And it felt great. Hey. See you, Uraraka. Take care. The short boy then ran off. You too. I hope I see you both at UA. The rosy-cheeked girl smiled. Minoru thought to himself. Well, that certainly was a showstopper. Nezu clapped. Psychedelic finish. Mike cheered. Aizawa, HMPH. I was on the edge of my seat. That finishing attack really sent a chill down my spine. Midnight Coed. I must say. This batch sure looks promising. Vlad spoke. Gotta agree. Especially the green-haired kid. Snip added. However, shouldn't speak with him. Him having multiple quirks is very unnatural. Vlad expressed concern. Yes, we need to. All Might agreed. I don't think that's needed, said Nezu. What? Sir? All Might exclaimed. The boy has proven to be a promising young man. If he had any sinister intent, he wouldn't have restrained himself against that other boy and bothered trying to save that girl. He has shown goodwill and we should not ruin that by showing immediate distrust or suspicion. Nezu explained. Yes, I understand. All Might reluctantly agreed. You're right, sir. The boy at least deserves the benefit of the doubt. Vlad spoke. Very well, but we should keep an eye on him, said Aizawa. Very well. You're all dismissed. Nezu smiled. All Might was the first to leave. And rather quickly too. Geez. What's got him so riled up? Mike questioned. All Might thought. His thoughts buzzed like hornets in his head. He had to push mine harder now. An old threat could be just upon the horizon. And he needed to be as ready as possible. Finally, I told Bakugo off. All those years of just smiling and taking all his insults, hits and threats for so long. All that pent-up aggression and suppressed feelings. Man, it felt great to finally vent all of that out and right to his face too. I really had some pep in my step as I made my way back home. That confrontation with Bakugo really lifted some weight off my shoulders. Not only that, I saved a life and for sure aced that entranced exam. I'm going to UA. There's no way I didn't pass. Today had to be the greatest day ever. I wanted to go right to Chisholm and tell him how everything went. However, I told my mom I'd come right back home and tell her everything. Oh well, I guess I'll let him know tomorrow. Speaking of Chisholm, I'm really conflicted on whether or not I should tell mom about him. I feel like I shouldn't, but I also don't like lying to my mom. Sigh. I'll just leave things as they are for now. I rubbed my forehead and carried on my way back home. Surprisingly enough, I managed to get there without being stopped by a certain blonde boy. I guess what I said finally got through his head. Thank goodness. I really didn't want him spoiling my good mood with his bullshit. Oh wow, that's new. The boy was surprised at his own thoughts. Well, that's what years of being bullied and just bottling it up inside will do to you. I heaved a big sigh and made it the rest of the way back home. As I opened the door to my house, I smiled and let out a big shout. Muam, I'm back, I yelled. Right on cue, I heard my mother's footsteps rushing over to me. Within seconds, my mother had her arms clung around me in a tight, loving embrace. Oh, my sweet little man. How did it go? Are you hurt? Is anything broken? She spoke frantically. It went fine, Mom, and I'm fine. I hugged back, giving a reassuring smile. Oh, that's amazing. Please, tell me how it went. Okay. Let's sit down and I'll tell you all about it. I smiled, walking with her over to the coach and sitting. Well, I gotta say, Mom, despite all the powerful-looking students there, I was pretty confident. That's the spirit, baby. Yuha. Also, I made a new friend. This short student named Minta. I saw he was pretty nervous, so I just decided to prep him up. Heh. You're always trying to help out others. I love that trait about you. Yeah, I love it too. It'll be a good perk for being a hero. Oh, and I also made another friend. I saved her from being crushed by a giant robot. Her name was Yurakaka. Inko, Buo. My sweetheart's already a hero. She hugged me joyfully. Hey, yeah, I sure did feel like a hero. I smiled, patting her back. I decided leave out Bakugo. No need to spoil the good mood with that. Either way, I'm fairly certain I racked up enough points to pass. My baby boy, INUA Academy. I am so proud of you. I'm going to make your favorites tonight. You've earned it. RWW. Mom. Thanks, you're the best. Just then we heard the door being unlocked. Wait, could it be? The door then opens to reveal a man with short black curly hair and black hair and freckles. Duh. Well. Hey, a champion. Long time now see. He said, putting out a cigarette he was smoking. Dad. I rushed to him and embraced him tightly. Honey. I heard my mom yell and run toward us and join in the hug. I felt Dad's embrace us both. Missed you too so damn much. Dad spoke in a soft tone. Heh. Swear jar. I said. I'll leave an IU in it. Oh, you just never change, do you? Mom smiled. And that's why we're still married, correct? He said, cupping her chin. You bullheaded man. You cutie. Ahem. I clear my throat. Right, sorry. Anyways, guess whose job is now closer to home? He smirked at us. Really? I exclaimed. Honey, Mom almost couldn't believe it. That's right. No more out-of-state or overseas crap. I'm back with my family, where I should be. Oh, Hisashi. Mother cried harder, hugging Dad tighter. Hey, look at us, we're a mess. Sniff. I wiped my eyes, being overwhelmed with emotion. Hey, well, let's say we all pull it together and have a long overdue family dinner. He chuckled. Yeah, totally. Yes, of course. Mother agreed, teary-eyed. No one's POV. Inko and Izuku both walked off the kitchen, but Hisashi took a few moments to take off his shoes and leave them by the door. Hisashi. A wide crooked smile crept on his face as he made his way to the kitchen to join his wife and son. With Minoru's POV. I was on my way back home from the whole entrance exam. Man, my heart is still pounding from all that. Though it was pretty intense. Like super mega intense. Still can't believe that energy ball attack actually worked. It was just an idea I had from a video game. A lot of things from video games and anime have really been helping me get a hold on this power. Who says video games or anime can't teach you anything? I smiled to myself, ready to arrive home and tell my mom all about the exam. But my thoughts were suddenly interrupted by a very loud yet familiar hello. All Might's voice suddenly boomed out of nowhere. I then nearly jumped out my shoes as All Might just appeared in front of me. Jesus, All Might. I gripped my chest, trying to regain my composure. Hey, I apologize, young Minta. He laughed and reverted back to his scrawny form while spitting out blood as well. Seriously, that cannot be good for him. Hey, man. Wish up. Cough. Ahem. Well, first off, just wanted to congratulate you, kid. I was completely blown away watching you back there. Your quick control over One for All is seriously amazing. Oh, and that skill you used. That energy blast. How did you manage that? Oh well. Heh. I try to find the words through my joy of All Might's praise. A fighting game character kinda inspired it. You see, the character has this like fireball projectile that he fires using like what's it called? Kai. Either one of those, and channels it between his palms and fires it forward. I see. And what made you think you could pull that off with One for All? Wheel. You said this quirk was a stockpiling power quirk. So I must have a lot of energy inside me, right? I thought, what if I could project that energy out, instead of just throughout my body? Never really thought of that. Pretty clever, Minta. Heh. Thanks. Full Cowl and that burst attack were both inspired by some anime and video games I was really into. I just added my own touches to it. Even the movements I used on the robots. I chuckle. Well, they really worked. He smiled widely at me. Yeah, they did ... and I'm glad. 'Cause I made you proud. Right. I lower my head, shoving my hands into my pockets. I then feel him place his hands on my shoulders. I then look up at him. More than proud. More than you could imagine. All might. Ahiha. I wipe my eyes, smiling like a dweeb. Thanks, man. Seriously. No, thank you. Seeing you grow so fast ... it really puts my weary bones at ease. Well, I'm just trying to reach the bar you set for me. I see. Listen, don't rush or push yourself too far, just to impress me. The progress you've made thus far is already impressive. Just keep it at your own pace. You're honestly doing great. PFFFF. Hey ha ha. I couldn't hold back a laugh. What's so funny? Nothing, it's just, I just never expected to do this good on dumb luck and pulling from knowledge from stupid crap I do in my spare time. Haha ... it's just really funny to me. Well, even the most trivial of things can potentially teach a lesson. Huh, ain't that the truth? I slapped my knee. Hahaha. Cough. Listen, Minoru, I just wanted to say congrats and ... be careful, okay? I frowned a bit, seeing the worried look in his eyes ... Also there was a drop in his tone. Something was off. Everything okay, dude? Yes, just fine. I just want you to be sure to watch yourself. You tend to get into trouble every so often. Couldn't argue with them there, but I'm convinced there's more to that. Guess I'll let it go for now. Right. Yes, sir, don't worry. Great. Good ... Now then. I should go. I have some things to attend to. See you later, Maita. He smiled and walked past me, waving. Later, dude. I wave and smile back as he faded into the distance. I then turn and heave a big sigh. Welp, back home for me. Though I really do wonder what the heck had him so worried about. Probably worried about me and my urges. Wouldn't blame him. I cringed, walking the rest of the way back home. I got my keys out and opened the door, but as soon as the door opened, pop, a loud popping sound erupted and confetti was sent spraying at me. GIH. I jumped with my heart in my chest. Surprise and welcome home. My mother Suki shouted, holding a party popper. She was about my height, with just being 3 inches taller. She looked just like me, but with long purple hair that reached her waist. She had on her favorite yellow sweater on, her pearl necklace, a white semi-long skirt, and brown belly flats. Good God, Mom, stop doing that. I say, gripping my chest, trying to calm down. What? Can a mother give her rad boy a proper welcome home after a big exam? She smirked ear to ear. Sayug. Whatever. I roll my eyes, closing the door and locking it. Wheel. How did it go? Well, amazing. Incredible. Extravagant. God tier. Mom enthusiastically asked. Muum. I groaned. It was God tier. Am I right? Am I right or am I right? She placed her hands on her hips, still smiling. I then crossed my arms and raised an eyebrow at her. Yeah, I'm right. She then pinched my cheek. You are impossible. It's one of my many appealing qualities. She then skips to the coach and sits. Well, she said. Well, what? I tilted my head. What do you mean? You know, you have to tell how it all went down. Come on, tell me how you completely destroyed the competition. Okay. I then sigh in defeat and sit next to her. To be honest, I did better than I was expecting. Duo, how so? Come on. Details. My new power made it fairly easy. I was smashing robots left and right. That's my boy, shifting gears and kicking rears. Still have no idea where this new quirk suddenly came from. But I sure as am not complaining. She beamed with a radiant smile. Haha ... me either ... he ... I laughed nervously. Definitely can't tell her the truth ... Good thing my mom goes with the flow. Oh yeah, also made a new friend and even saved a cute girl with him. Oh, tell me that was recorded. She pleaded. I'm sure it was, but I don't think I could my hands on it. I kinda busted her bubble. Bummer, though I'm sure it was spine tingling. Tell me about it. I smiled. Who was this friend? Oh yeah, Izuku Midoriya. Well, he sounds amazing. Boo what ... not as amazing as you, honey. Haha ... he actually was really. No way. You're the best around. No one's ever gonna keep you down. She said in a sing-song voice. I couldn't help but laugh at my mother's goofiness. Was the girl okay though? Oh yeah, she was totally fine. Nothing broken. No blood. You get her number. Mom teased me. Minoru, no. Wasn't there for girls, just there to pass. I held my arms up. Gasp. Look at you. Finally buckling up. Have to. Haha. Gotta change sometime. I saw that you cleared out a lot of the crap in your room. Very impressed, my kiddo. Hey. Thanks, Mom. So does this mean you're giving up on girls? No way. I quickly answered. Figured. But I will be a lot more subtle about it. More restrained. There you go, Minoru. I won't lie, I was really getting worried about you. However, you really started shaping up seemingly out of nowhere. I don't know what kicked you in gear, but it sure as hell worked. She put a hand on my shoulder. Let's just say I had some help. I smirked. Well, that help was really good help. She crossed her arms. Plus ultra help. Gonna have to tell me all about that some other time. For now ... how's your favorite meal for dinner sound? I totally let that party popper scare go. Oh, stop it, you thought it was funny. Sayug. Not one bit. I roll my eyes. Didn't deny it, so that shall be considered as yes. Whatever. I'll be in my room. Call me when dinner is ready. I stood up. Can do, sweetie. Go relax. You earned it, little grape trooper. Will you quit call me that? My eye twitched a bit. Never a year. She then walked into the kitchen and out of my sight. She is one real piece of work. Guess I see where I get it from. I then head off to my room to rest. Today was one hell of a day, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have fun. I'm learning to control and use one for all pretty decently. Just keep it up, Minoru. You got this. I then make it into my room and plop down on the bed. Now I just wait for my results. I'll be a few days SOOO ... what to do in the meantime. I'll figure something out. However, for now, quick power nap. I then shut my eyes and quickly drifted off. With Izuku, no one's pav. The boy laid on his bed staring at the ceiling, still thinking about the events of the exam. He just couldn't get over how exciting it all was. He was truly living his dream. However, he wasn't there just yet ... He had to wait for his results ... Then UA Academy. That's where it all truly started. Pizizize. His phone peeped. He then grabbed it and looked at ... It was a text from Chizome. Chizome text, hello Midoriya. Izuku smile and texted back. Izuku text, hi sensei. Chizome text, so how did the exam go? Well, I'd hope. Izuku text, I did amazing. XD. Chizome text, that's good to hear. Equals D. Izuku text, not only did I make 2 new friends, I saved another person. Chizome text, you really are coming into your own. I'm glad. Izuku text, this is all thanks to you. Thank you so much, teacher. Chizome text, I just did what I thought was right. Izuku text, still. Thank you anyways. Thanks a million. Chizome text, you're welcome. Now get some rest. I'm sure you're tired. I'll speak with you tomorrow. Izuku text, yes sir. See you tomorrow. Chizome text, until then Midoriya. Izuku then set his phone away and smiled to himself, and he shut his eyes, slowly drifting off. With Stain, Sieg, HMPH. I guess Midoriya may be right. Maybe ... just maybe. I've misjudged this new generation. He leaned against a tree watching the setting sun. Maybe. Through my own disappointment ... BITTERNESS ... and own experiences, I've passed an unfair judgment. Maybe I've let my own personal experiences blind me from seeing the whole truth. Stain remained silent ... He was truly internally conflicted ... For the first time in years he was ... so unsure. He began questioning everything he believed in ... and even doubting himself. Midoriya had truly changed some things within him that he couldn't deny. However, to truly understand these new thoughts and ideals ... he would have to listen Midoriya more. Yes, he deserves a chance. If he truly thinks this generation is simply misguided ... then I shall believe in his word. Sigh. Sorry sis. He sighed as the sun slowly set. A week had gone by and no time for Minoru and Izuku. For Izuku, the time seemed to fly by reconnecting with his father. He rarely got to see him due to his work. He was more than happy to see him when he could, but this time he was overjoyed to know he was here to stay now. He couldn't be happier. When his results came, he jumped with tears of joy knowing he had been accepted to UA. For Minoru, the time went by as he every so often met up with All Might to talk, spend time with his goofy mother, train alone with One for All, or rewatch or replay old video games or anime for more One for All inspiration. Minoru always used to love video games and anime growing up. However, when he got older he slowly drifted away from it. Alan now revisiting it. He honestly wonders why he did to begin with. When his results came in, he was honestly at a loss for words. His mother wasn't, that's for sure. She was dancing all around, celebrating, and praised her son in every language she knew. The boy could only laugh at it all. This was a big step for him. With Izuku laid on his bed beyond excited for the next day to come. He would be at his dream school at last. Wondered what kind of new people he would meet there. He'd just have to wait and see, but that didn't stop him from wondering. However, he was snapped out of his thoughts when he heard a knock at his door. Come in, Izuku shouted. The door opened slowly and his father walked in, shutting the door behind him. Hey Champ, you excited for UA? He smiles, sitting on a chair at Izuku's desk. Izuku then sat up, smiling at his father. Yeah, I am. Why wouldn't I be? This is my big dream. He beamed with happiness. Haha, true indeed, though I will say wasn't expecting to see All Might of all people on the recording. Hisashi lied. I know, right? It was so mind-blowing for me. Hey, happy with your quirk? How did you know? I haven't even told Mom about it yet. The boy was confused. I know because I gave it to you. What? When I was here last, on your 15th birthday, I secretly transferred my quirk to you. Really, Dad? I thought your quirk was fire breath. That was one of them. I tend to keep my multiple quirks on a low profile. So you have me the power to take quirks. Wait, so does that mean you're quirkless? Oh no, I kept the quirks I stole. You just got the power itself. That's why you didn't have any quirks starting out. However, that sludge guy was your first power, as well as those thugs whose quirks you stole. Izuku's blood went cold. How did he know all this? Dad, it's okay, my son. I'm not angry with you. Proud in fact, and if you're wondering how I know all this, let's just say I have eyes in a lot of places. He spoke with a rather ominous tone. Izuku would be lying if he said that didn't unnerve him. That power, Izuku, is called. Hisashi got up and sat next to his son. All for one. His eyes locked with Izuku's. And Izuku, there is quite the past to that power in me. Hisashi, a dark truth I've never told Yao, so listen closely. Izuku gulped and kept silent, showing he was listening. Sieg, Hisashi heaved a sigh. Izukami-san, I use Eto be a villain. Izuku's heart sank hearing Thatha's hands gripped the covers of his bed tightly. Not just any villain, I was the villain. I was the one that put the world into the dark times. How the dark times ... was centuries ago. Because I'm over 100 years old. Izuku could only stare. Nothing was making sense of how he didn't look any older than mid-30 seconds. That was due to a quirk that slows down my aging quite considerably. Izuku, I have commit sins beyond what you could comprehend. I have stained my hands with the blood of countless people. I have caused destruction on an unbelievable scale. I've manipulated all around me, both friend and foe. My reign of evil was Legend was the symbol of evil. This thighs couldn't be real. This was a joke, right? It had to be. There was just no way. His father, his own father. Sigh, however, I gave that all up 5 years back. So I can live happily with Inko and you, Izuku. 5 years ago, wait, no way. Izuku started piecing a few things together. Dad. Yes. Did you ever fight All Might? I did, and it was my last fight. Almost was his too. So that's how he got injured like that. You actually saw it? The man looked surprised. Why, yeah, I actually met All Might up close and he showed me it. I see. If I had to guess, he's slowly losing power. He'll probably choose a successor to pass down his power to. No way he's gonna continue being the symbol of peace longer with that injured body. What pass down, is that possible? Yes, you see, I once had a brother, Izuku. Me and him never saw eye to eye often, but deep down there was a mutual brotherly bond. However, things changed when I came into my quirk. Many things changed. Then the rift between us began to form. I wanted to shape the world into my own perfect image, and while stood against me, I was led to believe he was quirkless. He never showed any signs of a quirk. So hoping it would change his mind and join me, I gave him a stockpile power quirk. But afterwards, to my surprise, I learned he did have a quirk. It was a quirk that allowed him to pass quirks down. Useless on its own, but when I gave him the stockpile power quirk, they merged together and formed a new power. This power would soon become known as One for All. After me and my brother's last encounter, this power was passed down from person to person, each one strengthening it, hoping one day someone would make it powerful enough to stop me. 7 people thus far have wielded that power, and they all died by my hand except for one All Might. Yes, even my brother was killed by me. Hisashi smiled sadly. Izuku's words were lost in his head. To be perfectly honest, I allowed myself to be defeated. I wanted to vanish, to make All Might believe his duty was done. I did this because I wanted to try being normal. As so you just changed your mind. Yes, and well, be that time me and your mother were already together and had already had you. I just wanted to have a normal life as a family man. The whole evil tyrant act just became tiring and stale. I wanted to try something new and I enjoyed it. My whole point of view changed when I met your mother. I met her while I was still the infamous One for All, and I must say I grew attached to her. Before I even knew it, I had fallen in love. Her and how you came along, you also changed me too, Izuku. When you were a mere infant, I remember the way you clung to me and looked to me, even though your small mind wasn't developed enough to even understand most things. You loved me. I saw in your tiny eyes you understood that I was comfort, I was your father, that I was something you should cling to with all your might. Within that truth, I saw something in life I never could before. That was when I knew I just wanted to be with you too. You two made this world seem tolerable. I see. The boy was at a loss for words and he gazed down. What could he say? If you're wondering, eyes, your mother does know of this and she accepts it. Though if you can't stand the sight of me after hearing all this, I understand. Before he could finish, Izuku quickly embraced his father with a tight hug. I still love you, Dad. Always. Yes, you were washerable, but that's not you anymore. I love the person you are now. His voice shook as he held his father tighter than he ever had before. Izuku, my son, thank you. The happy man embraced his son with a warm smile. It's okay, Dad. I know you're not lying when you say you love me and Mom, and if you really have changed, then okay, I accept you. Izuku's voice cracked a bit as tears poked at his eyes. Hisashi chuckled and ran a hand through the boy's fluffy hair. Just like your mother, you're both too pure for this world. Hey, Emi, son, listen. Izuku lifted his head to look his father in the eyes. Whatever you choose to use my power for, whether you decide to use it to lift up this world and its people or have it crumble at your feet as you watch it burn, I will love you and be proud all the same. Use this power how you see fit. Forge your own path. The boy couldn't hold it back anymore. Tears streamed down his face as he nodded and he held his father more tightly. Don't worry, I will teach how to use and control this power. There are a few things about it I'm sure you've yet to figure out. Sniff. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I'd like that. Finally, we can spend time together. Long overdue, I know. Did you know you could transfer quirks to people? You actually know I didn't. Oh wow, I could give quirks to quirkless people. Ha ha, somehow I knew you'd say something like that. Sorry if I sound sappy. It's okay. Being with your mother, I've come to find it amusing. He smirked, ruffling Izuku's hair. Haha, thanks, Dad. I'll make you proud, I promise. You already have, son. You already have. Can we just talk like this for a bit longer? Read my mind. Hisashi chuckled. So tell me more about this power, about All for One. Well, Izuku, you can use multiple quirks at once. However, if you use too many at one time, they go haywire on you. Trust me, had that issue before. At the moment I'd say you could handle about 3 quirks at once. So be careful. Oh geez, thanks for telling Meth. That would have been bad. A bead of sweat went down his temple. No problem. I'd experiment with the quirks you have. You could make a lot of powerful combinations. Oh yeah, I could, thanks Dad. Again, no problem champ. I'm your father, it's what I do. Hey yo Can I ask how you and Mom met? I don't think I've ever asked. Oh, how we met? Oh boy, ain't that an odd story. Not too short, not too long. Let me share it. He smiled and leaned his head back, staring at the ceiling. I can remember every detail. Flashback. Damn it all, an angry Hisashi grumbled to himself as he walked into a cafe trying to escape the downpour of rain outside. Mother Nature can be a real annoyance. God's what I'd do for a weather-changing quirk. Seriously, there wasn't a cloud in the sky this morning, then all of a sudden it gets cloudy out of nowhere and rains, ruining my nice walk and fucking mutter, he ranted under his breath. Just as his mini rant was over, the bell to the cafe rung behind him. Turned to see a woman that looked to be in her mid-20s come in, holding a brown jacket overhead, using it as a shield from the rain. Sigh, so much for a nice relaxing walk on me day off. She placed the jack down. She had medium short green hair with a bit of it tied up in the back, and green eyes, had a rather slim figure too. She was wearing a pink sweater with a white shirt underneath. At this moment Hisashi hadn't realized he was staring at her, and she quickly took notice of this. Can I help you? The woman spoke in a rather confused tone. Oh, my sorry miss. Didn't mean to stare. Hisashi chuckled nervously. Oh lord, don't call me miss, makes me sound old. The woman ducked her head a bit. Ma'am, he smirked. Even worse. She face-palmed. Milady, he coed. Ag, fine, you win. Ha, Hisashi laughs. Oh, how vile. What man laughs at a poor woman? The woman acted in a goofy dramatic tone, placing her hand over her forehead and shutting her eyes. Ha, a man who knows cuteness when he sees it. That got the woman blushing. Oh, stop it, that I'm not cute at all. Cups her own cheek and looks away, smiling. Yes, you are. Heh, not. She playfully poked his cheek. You're the cutest cutie in the cutiverse, he booping her nose. PFFF, haha, she erupted with bubbly cute laughter. This also earned a blush from Hisashi, but he quickly overcame it. Okay, you win, charmer pants, the woman said. As I always do. Now as reward I'd like to know your name, my fair maiden. That's okay of course. Maiden, oh god, you're buttering me up so bad. Very well. You earned it. My name is Inko Dajima. A fine name for a fine lady. Hisashi winked. Hey, and what's your name? Silver tongue, she smirked, crossing her arms. Hisashi Midoriya. Pleased to meet you, miss. Dajima. He bowed. What I say about the miss thing? She cringed. Oh my bad. Hinkachan. Bold. You are very bold. Lucky for you I'm a nice person, Suo. I'll allow that. Hisashikun. She winked. Haha, I must say, I'm taking a shine to you already. Now I don't even mind the rain. Hisashi laughed. It really was a bummer it started raining. I had planned to have a nice walk on my day off. In sighed. Tell me about it. Same story here. He rolled his eyes. Hey, he ain't that a coincidence? She smiled. I'll say he. Why don't we order some coffee and sit on me? He offered. Oh, what I can't ask you to do that, she stammered. Boo, dear, not asking me. I'm offering again. It would be very rude to decline. He acted hurt. You are such a manipulator. She playfully punched his arm. You don't know the half of it. Seriously, you don't. That right now I'm just another victim, the woman spoke, placing a hand on her hip. Mayoibe. Maybe not. Dare to sit with me and find out. Very well, you buddy boy have piqued my interest. Splendid. Hisashi clapped his hands together. After a few minutes the two were sitting in a booth together with coffee, chatting with each other. Wow, your supervisor sounds like a real hard ass, Hisashi said, sipping his coffee. Ash is a bitch, spat Inko. WOW, didn't expect to hear that from you, sweetheart. His eyes went wide in surprise. I'm sorry, I just cannot describe her in any other manner. She's a certified grade of bitch. Oh man, now I have to hear this. Hisashi smirked, leaning closer. Where do I even start? First of all, she's completely smug and condescending. She talks down to everyone. She always has this smug dippy smirk on her face that just screams, oh, I'm not even using 3% of my brain on you right now. It pisses me and everyone else off. She treats us like we're all idiots, everything's gotta go her way and everyone else's opinion sucks, and a GHNO one can stand her, not even our boss. Inko spoke in an annoyed tone. Jesus Christ, thou, is she still even there? Cause despite her rotten attitude she is a hard worker and gets things done. That's why the boss keeps her butte. At least he's easy on us when we snap at her, because he can seriously relate. She rolled her eyes. Okay, wow, I feel so bad for you. That lady is lucky I don't work there. I'd set her straight, let me tell you. Hey, I would pay to see that, in all honesty. Inko chuckled, taking a long sip of her coffee. Hey, anyone that will purposely give an angel-faced girl like you a hard time deserves to get chewed out. Or maimed. He spoke with an annoyed tone. Hey Heather, you go buttering me up. Flattering will get you only so far with me. Inko crossed her arms, leaning back. How far are we talking? Hey, hi, and not far enough. Oh darn. Guess I'll have to up the ante. Alright, enough of me. What about you? What's your living? I could tell ya, but then I'd have to kill you. Not even joking there. Oh, scary. What are you, some gang leader, assassin, yakuza? PFFF, how I wish. I work at an office space. Nothing to spectacular. Hazer beats working at a supermarket. Him. The woman cutely pouted. Kidding. He smirked, sipping his coffee. Ha, hire a jerk, butte, an endearing jerk. Oh my, that has to be the first time anyone has ever said that to me, oh man. Do I feel special now? Dramatic much, she smiled with a raised eyebrow. Yes I am. It's part of my charm doll face. You're gonna go through every cheesy nickname in the book at this rate, she rolled her eyes. Oh yes I am. Prepare yourself. And Ko could only laugh at Hisashi's goofy antics. Their conversation seemed to drag on forever. Time seemed to slow down for them both so immersed in one another. The rain had long since stopped, but it took a bit for them to finally notice. Ha yeah, what do you do ni ho helk? She pointed to the window next to them. HMOH, look at that. The rain finally let up. Yeesh, didn't even notice. Hisashi looked a bit sad. You know what they say. Time flies when you're having fun, she smiled, looking a bit sad herself too. Hisashi pfff, ain't that the truth? He stretched, leaning back. Well, I should get going, and Ko said. Awa, cruel fate tears us apart. Hisashi dramatically said, holding his heart. Drama Kingdom, I'd like to see you again. She blurted out. Huh, he raised an eyebrow. UUMN, never mind, oh god, sorry, I didn't mean to blurt that out, I'm such a ditz. Whoa, calm down. I don't mind. I honestly want to see more of you two in Kachin. Really? Her face turned a dark shade of red. Of course, you're by far the most interesting woman I've met thus far. Hey, well, you're the most interesting man I've met thus far, Hisashikun. Well, of course, this is me we're talking about. He smirked. Okay, don't get cocky. She crossed her arms. Cocky. He teased. PFF, yeah, definitely the most interesting. With that, they both exchanged contact info. Done and done. Hisashi smiled. Oh god, this is such an odd day. I just gave a guy who I just met my phone number. I'm so weird. Hey, I was about as into as you were. So I'm no exception. Besides, what's wrong with being weird? It makes things fun. Hisashi smiled. I agree, thank you, Hisashikun. Hope to see you again. No issue in Kachin. Just ring me up and I'll happily save you from boredom. I'll keep that in mind. She waved and walked out the cafe. Hisashi watched as she walked by the window. He decided to make a little face at her as she walked by. She smiled and stuck her tongue out at him as she slowly went out of view. Hisashi smiled to him, so feeling an warmth in his heart. Had never felt like this before, but honestly didn't not like it, that was for sure. Flashback end. Phew, and that's the story. The man finished. Wow, your meeting was so sweet yet causal. That's why me and your mother enjoy the rain. It's what lead us to meet. He looked away, smiling to himself. Well, that explains it. The boy chuckled. Now you know. Thanks for sharing that, Dad. It was a great story. Thank you for finally asking, kid. Sorry about that. Haha, yawn. Izuku yawned and stretched. That was a big yawn. Maybe you should hit the hay, kid. It is pretty late. Yeah, let's do this again sometime, Dad. He rubbed his sleepy eyes. Hisashi ruffled his hair, standing up. Just say when, kiddo. Just say when. Night. He walked to the door. Yawn, good night. Hisashi left the room and gently shut the door, but as he turned and Ko was standing there smirking. You were listening in the whole time, weren't you, honey? Guilty. She smiled as she embraced her husband. Hisashi returned the embrace, chuckling. I'm happy Izuku still accepts you. He takes after you the most. Hisashi said. He does with you too, or where he got his big brain. Now who's the flatterer? She pinches her cheek. Oh hush. She playfully swatted his hand. Hisashi replied with a mocking face, and Ko retorted with sticking her tongue out at him. Hisashi smiled softly and pecked her forehead. You know you're crazy, right? Staying with men, knowing what I've done, what I could do. Maybe I am, but love can make you do crazy things. I don't regret my choice. And Ko, I'm glad I met you. He cupped her cheeks. I am too, honey, come on. Let's go to bed. And Ko held his hand, smiling at him. Hisashi nodded and they both made their way to their bedroom, and in that moment they felt the same spark that resonated around like back from when they first met. Their family was whole again and they couldn't be happier. Today was the day he stood. Izuku Midoriya at the gates of UA Academy. It felt so surreal for him. He had always dreamed of this, and here it finally was. His dream a reality he had earned with his own 2 hands and strength of heart. This is it, how I'm finally here. If this is a dream, I better not wake up. The green-haired boy cheered to himself. Minoru had just made it to the school's gate and spotted that unmistakable green fluffy hair on Izuku's head. Smiling to himself, he put 2 fingers to his mouth and let out a loud whistle to catch the boy's attention. It succeeded as Izuku turned his head to spot the shorter boy. Mighty-kun. Izuku smiled widely as he watched Minoru approach him. Haha, so we meet again, huh? The shorter boy spoke, sporting a grin of his own. Yeah, we do. Maybe it's fate, Izuku joked. Who knows, maybe it is. Stranger things have happened. Minoru spoke. Who? Well, yeah, that is true. Izuku agreed. If it is fate, we watch each other's backs. He held out a hand to Minoru. Minoru was taken back a bit. For real, dude? Minoru tilted his head with an eyebrow raised. Izuku only smiled and nodded. PFFFF, well, hot damn sure, oh man, first day of school and I already got someone backing me up. The purple-haired boy rejoiced as he shook Izuku's hand. Izuku laughed at this. Yeah, when you come to a new place, especially a school, it's best to know who your friends are. Now I wouldn't exactly know this myself, since I normally tended to keep to myself, but seeing it around me so often I kinda get the message. Izuku laughed nervously, scratching the back of his head with a goofy smile. Join the club, brother. It's either fit in or suffer. It sucks. If you don't fit in, you better make sure you got at least 1 or 2 friends you know that will have your back. Minoru smiled, rolling his eyes, recalling his earlier school days. Hey haha, you sound like you've learned from experience. Izuku's goofy smile remained. Booyah, social outcast here. Minoru winked. Hey, well, aren't we a couple of misfits? Izuku's smile softened. Minoru noticed the change in Izuku's eyes. Had the same look in his eyes as him. At that moment Minoru knew for sure he and Izuku had more in common than he originally thought. Well, hey, if life tries pushing us down, no, we'll just push right back. We ain't alone anymore. Minoru patted Izuku's arm with a warm smile. I'd like that a lot, Minoru-kun. Well then, let's make it happen, dude. With our brains, skill, and power we could for sure do it. We'd make quite the dream team. Say, what exactly is your quirk? Minoru asked. Oh, it's called All for One. He smiled. Oh, what does it do? Hugh, its name is close to one for all. Minoru pondered. I can take away quirks from other people, use them for myself, or give them to others. Izuku said. Wow, that is dummy broken, but freaking cool. The smaller boy laughed. Yours? Izuku asked. Oh, pip off. These balls on my head, I can pull them off and they are super sticky and stick to everything but me. I bounce off of them. They grow back the second I pop one off, and I'll bleed once I get to a certain number of them. He smiled nervously. Useful. Izuku smiled. Really, not many people think so. That's because none of them bothered to try and see it in its fullest potential. Don't pay any mind to oblivious ignorance. Izuku reassured him. Well, thanks, Midoriya-kun. He blushed slightly, looking away. No issue, although you must have another quirk, because that wasn't the power I saw you use in the entrance exams. Oh, right, that. Crud, I can't tell him about one for Illumike. Okay, what can I draw from what All Might told me already about it? Minoru thought very hastily. It's a stockpile power quirk, he croaked out. Izuku went silent, stared at Minoru very intently. It stores up energy from me exercising and stores it inside me to call upon to enhance my speed, power, and durability. Hey, that's not technically a lie, Minoru explained. I see. Hehe, that's a very strong power. That and pop-off combined make for a quirk combo. He's the new one for all. Izuku gave a thumbs up. Hehe, thanks, yours too, man. Now then, shall we, mate? Minoru smirked. Yeah, let's go. Let's go take this school by storm, Midoriya. Yes, let's show everyone how heroic we can be, Izuku said enthusiastically. And scout some skirt while we're at it. Minoru coed. Izuku crossed his arms and gave a very deadpan expression with a raised eyebrow, as well as tapping his foot. In our spare time, of course. We'll focus on school and work and maybe check out some of the fish in this ocean in our downtime. Haha. SIIGH, very well, but only when we have nothing important to do, and we will be respectful and cautious. Izuku smiled lightly. Yes, knew you were awesome, dude. Minoru cackled. Haha, thanks. They two friends chuckled and talked the whole way to class 1A. Oh man, you're in 1A too, Minoru asked. You all were in the same class, Izuku cheered. Just keeps getting better, Minoru laughed. Hey you two, a cheery familiar voice rang behind them. The two boys turned to see the rosy-cheeked girl from the entrance exam smiling at them. Hi, guess we're in the same class together. Amazing, I get to be classmates with my two heroes. She beamed with happiness. Izuku and Minoru couldn't help but blush from her praise. Well, we just did what any good person would. Izuku spoke up, smiling. Yeah, what he said. Well, I still appreciate it a lot. Just know that. She smiled warmly. Are you three quite done? A voice came from the teacher's desk. They all look in the direction of the voice to see a man in a sleeping bag. Weird. Minoru gave a very questioning look. Are you okay? Izuku asked, raising an eyebrow. Yes, I was just taking a nap. The man then stood up, emerging from the sleeping bag. I'm Mr. Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Hello, students. Hey, it teaches at me, or does this guy look stoned? Said and thought Minoru. Hi there, he looks like he hasn't slept in days, Izuku thought. Hello, sir, keep an open mind. Achiko kept an open mind. Hello. Well, you three can take a seat. You can get to know each other later. As soon as the other students arrive, we're getting right into things. With that, the man got back into the sleeping bag and laid back down. Wouldn't you know what? Sure, fine. Come on, y'all. Minoru suggested as he took a random desk. Izuku and Achako didn't really argue and just took seats near Minoru. Time seemed to go by as they sat together chatting, and one by one the students began to flood the classroom. Wow, a lot of these students look uber cool. They all look so cool and amazing. I wonder what quirks they have, their limitations, their strengths, their weaknesses, and mutter, Izuku said, observing his new classmates. Ooh yeah, a lot of 'em do. Minoru coed, checking out the females of the class. I'd watch yourself, Minoru-kun. The last thing you want to do is give someone a bad first impression. Achako said in a deadpan tone to Minoru. Hey, I was only admiring, not staring. There's worlds of differences between them. Minoru crossed his arms and looked away, pretending to be offended. I wasn't aware of that. Izuku innocently spoke. Oh my god, Ochako sighed, face palming. I feel like I'm missing some context here. Izuku rubbed the back of his neck. Nope, you're not missing anything. Minoru assured. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on you, Minoru-kun. The pink-cheeked girl said. It wouldn't be the first nor last. Bring it on, sister. He rolled his eyes, smirking. Oh, then it is so totally on. The brunette, she glared playfully. The three then shared a laugh together. All right. All of you can it and listen up. Aizawa spoke, emerging from his sleeping bag again. The class stood at attention. I'm going to put you all through a quirk testing session to check your potential. If your quirk control and overall scores are good, then good for you. If it's bad, you're gone. Expelled. This earned a lot of gasp and rowdiness from the class. That's a joke, right? The pink-skinned girl spoke in an uncertain tone. Not at all. I expelled an entire class just last year because they had no potential. Well, that's completely over the top and unfair, Ochako protested. Are natural disasters fair, or murders fair, or freak accidents fair? No. They're not. That's the point of this test. To test your competence and capabilities during these unfair events. This silenced the class. His words were true. So painfully true. If you think you have the skills to be a hero, then prove it in this test. Now everyone change into your PE outfits and meet me out back in the school's PE grounds. He then stacked some PE outfits with name labels them on his desk and walked out. Man, what hard-ass. A blonde boy with black streaks in his hair spoke. I get what he's saying, but weren't we all literally already tested to prove we belonged here already? A boy with red spiky hair said. An instant expulsion, that's just a tad bit much, an invisible girl spoke. Geez guys, the class is not happy, Minoru whispered to Izuku and Ochako. Can you really blame them? Ochako replied. Izuku stayed silent, but seeing the dismay of the other students, he stood up and spoke. Everyone please listen to what I have to say. Izuku's voice quickly gained the attention of the class. I know this may seem harsh, but listen. You all have nothing to worry about. You all were allowed to come here for a reason. If you didn't have potential, you wouldn't have even made it to this school. You proved in your exams that you had the spark to become something great. And that's why you're here now. Show that same spark of skill again and you'll succeed. I know it. Go beyond plus ultra, he cheered with a voice full of heart and soul. The students looked at the boy with wide and surprised eyes, then one began to clap. A boy with short black hair and glasses, then a girl with long black hair and ponytail began to clap. Then before he knew it, the whole class was clapping. That was a really inspiring speech, Ribbit. A frog-like girl smiled. Yeah dude, real manly of you, the spiky redhead spoke. Quite a way with words you have. The black ponytailed girl complimented. Truly outstanding. The glasses boy spoke proudly. Hey, it was nothing, you all seemed pretty spooked up. So I just thought I'd prep you up. His cheeks flushed red. Ag, your voice is the most annoying thing known to man, Bakugo groaned. Izuku frowned. Well then, why not just tune me out like you do everything besides your own ego? Izuku spat. Oh look at this, the shitty nerd grew a pair. He stood up angrily. No, this nerd just finally stopped fearing you. Oh, how about we fucking fix that? HUD explosions crackled from the blonde boy's hands. That would be a very poor choice. With everyone here as a witness, if you start a fight with me on your first day, it's not gonna end well for you. No one here will vouch for you, and also if Aizawa is serious about that expelling a whole class over a lack of potential, you'll more than likely get expelled immediately if lose your temper and attack a fellow student out of spite. Izuku crossed his arms, speaking with a stoic face. Bakugo growled furiously. He wanted to blow the smartass to Kingdom Come. But he was right. He wasn't about to ruin his place here at UA. Fucking smartass Deku. Yo man, what the hell's your issue? Kirishima spoke up. Fucking shut it, shitty hair, and you Deku, you better watch it, cause I'm gonna crush you down until there's nothing left. Same goes for any of you extras get in my way. And you worthless fucks are dead meat. He then grabbed his PE outfit and stormed out. Savage, Momo sighed. His attitude is an utterly disgusting sight to be seen in such a proper and studious school such as UA. Ida added, just ignore him. It's what I do. Izuku said, getting his PE outfit. Geez, what's his problem with you? Minoru asked, picking up his outfit. He just has this petty delusion that I look down on him and think he's weak, which is severely hypocritical because he does that to just about everyone he meets. Izuku rolled his eyes. Dude sounds like a major douchebag. Kaminari said. He really is. Don't let his rotten personality drag you all down. Just focus on doing your best and helping each other. Izuku spoke in a friendly yet stern tone. Achako's heart fluttered. She was infatuated by mature side. Forget that jerk, let's go knock Aizawa's socks off, that is if he's wearing any. Minoru said. Why would he not wear socks? Jiru spoke confused. Hey, you'd be surprised. Minoru joked. This earned him an eye roll and chuckle from Jiru. Well, hurry up y'all, Ochako cheered, grabbing her PE uniform. The rest of the class cheered and changed quickly and made their way to the PE grounds. Finally, you're all here. Aizawa sighed. Sorry, sir. I just wanted to give the class a quick pep talk. I apologize. Izuku bowed. That right? Aizawa raised an eyebrow. Heck, ya dude got us pumped. Bring on the test, man. Kirishima bashed his fists together. Well in that case, don't apologize, Midoriya. Oh okay sir, Izuku smiled. You were really cool back there, Midoriya-kun. Ochako blushed. Haha, thanks, I mean it really wasn't anything too special. He became flustered himself by all the attention. Okay, enough. Focus. First up, we'll be doing a 50-meter dash. 2 will go at a time. I'll be recording your times and scores. The ones that score the lowest are gone. Some of the students gulped. Izuku's POV. Okay, I can understand his reasoning, but could he at least try to encourage them positively? He's really not doing much to boost their morale. That's kind of a teacher's job. No one's going anywhere cause everyone's gonna do amazing, I shout with a reassuring smile to the others. Yeah, you guys kicked butt to get here and you're gonna do it again. Minda backed me up. I could see their faces lighten and perk up. Guess that worked. Good. I'm really happy to have Minda backing me up. He's really enthusiastic. First up, Ada and Asui. I then watch as Ada and Asui go up to the racing track and ready themselves. I see the same engine's pipes on Ada's calves as in the exam. From what I can pull, he can move at super speeds. I wonder what's his speed cap. Does it have negative effects on his legs or body? Does it drain him with extended use? Then there's Asui observing her. I'd say her quirk is something frog related. I'm pretty her saying ribbit at the end of her sentences isn't just some cute gag. Also, her face and body psyche kinda give off the froggy vibes too. Can she do anything a frog can? Is she a certain species of frog? Is she limited to the powers of a certain breed of frog? Can she use powers of other frog species? And mutter. Og, I then feel someone jab my side. I look over to see it was Minda. Dude, you're muttering out loud. He told me with a raised eyebrow. Oops, sorry. I tend to do that often. Allow me to help you break the habit, my good sir. Minoru spoke in a snooty tone. Pffff. Okay, sure. Ready, go. Just like Aizawa set the two off. Ada effortlessly zoomed past Asui, who then began leaping great distances, but Ada kept a steadfast lead. It took about 3 seconds for Ada to finish, while Asui finished in 5 seconds. Both good times. Impressive. Aizawa said in a very stoic tone. Geez, he really is hard to impress. Thank you, sir. Ada bowed. Ribbit. Asui just nodded. Awesome, you two, I yelled. Yeah, totally wicked, Minda added. Ada and Asui really seemed to appreciate it as they stood back in their places near the others. Next, Uraraka and Ajiro. Aizawa spoke. Okay, here we go. Uraraka spoke uncertain. I'll do my best. Ajiro spoke with confidence. Do your best, Uraraka, and I believe you, and you should believe in yourself too. Izuku smiled warmly at her. This caused Uraraka to blush very heavily. Yeah, dude, you can do it if you just believe you can. I mean, look at me, a loser like me made it here. You got this, girl. Minda snapped his fingers and winked at her. Uraraka's resolve strengthened and she gripped her fists in determination. Right, thank you, I'll give it all I got, she beamed as she took her postillion alongside Ajiro. I then see her touch her clothes with her fingertips and faint pink glows emit from her fingers. I see she's making her clothes lighter so she can run faster. Clever. In the exam, I saw her using her quirk. It's some sort of quirk that affects gravity. She seems to be only to activate it through touch and deactivates it by pressing her fingers together. Very cool quirk. I wonder what are its limitations. How many things can she affect? Can she control things in zero gravity? Do Izuku stop it? You're about to ramble again. Go, the teacher sounded off. Uraraka took off running as fast as her legs could take her. Ajiro shot off the ground like a spring with his tail. He leaped a great distance ahead of Uraraka and kept up until he reached the end, finishing in 5 seconds, and Uraraka shortly finished after in 7 seconds. Huff of release, Uraraka places her fingers together and deactivated her quirk. That was pretty good, Uraraka-chan. Ajiro spoke to her. Thanks if you too. Oh god, I'm out. Breathe. Acceptable. Aizawa spoke blandly. Again, Aizawa didn't look too impressed. It's gonna be really hard to please. Either that or he's just a really good actor. You two did great, good job. I smiled at them. Awesome sauce, said Minda. Ajiro bowed and Uraraka smiled and stood back with us. Next, Ishido and Aoyama. Aizawa said, yawning. I cheer on Ishido and Aoyama as they take their positions. When Aizawa gives the go, Ishido takes off by sliding on this odd white liquid that screeds from her feet. I see this liquid left burn marks on the ground. Is it some kind of acid? Further study required. Aoyama shot this blue sparkling laser from his navel through some belt. I guess it helps him use his quirk. That's the only thing I can think it's for. Questions for later. Mina finished in 4 seconds while Aoyama came in 5. Awesome, Ishido, you were great. Aoyama. I was dazzled. I smiled. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Ishido winks at me. I kinda blush in response, though training with Stain gave me a huge confidence boost. Talking to girls and flirts were a whole other ballpark for me. Why, thank you, Midoriya, my dear friend. Knowing my performance entranced you fills my heart with song, Aoyama said with a very pearly white smile. Good enough, Aizawa said. Minoru's POV. Well, isn't this guy just a ball of sunshine? Og. This is gonna be an extremely boring class if he's gonna be like that all year long. Whatever, besides that, watching the others go was pretty rad. They've got some cool freaking quirks, though it's nothing quite like Midoriya's or mine. Next, Minta and Todoroki. Aizawa said. Welp, that's me. I see Midoriya smirking at me. I smile and give him a thumbs up. Do your best, you two, Midoriya cheered. You got it, bud, I said. As me and Todoroki walked to the racing track, I spared a few glances at him. Gotta say, there was just this coldness to his eyes. I didn't quite it, but I guess it wasn't really important. I needed to focus, though I couldn't quite push the thought of what kinda crazy quirk this guy has. Again, regardless, gotta focus. We both take our positions and ready ourselves. I can see a few of the others giving me odd looks, and I know those looks all too well. The little guy looks. They're all probably thinking I'm gonna bomb this. Well, guess what? I got an ace up my sleeve. You know, I really wanna show them what I can do. So I'm gonna add an extra 5% to my full cal. It won't be for a prolonged period of time. It'll only be a few seconds. I should be able to handle 10% for 2 or 3 seconds. I'm already pretty fast at 5%, so 10% should be even faster. I then channel my energy at 5%, then slowly raise it to 10% as I ready to take off. I feel a slight strain in my body, probably due to the sudden limit break. Go, Aizawa shouted. I then kick off the ground and run at a faster speed than before. I can feel the air hit my face as I zoom to the finish line. I make it there a lot faster than I expected. After I come to a halt, I instantly shut off full cal. I feel a small rebound hit my body. I grit my teeth in pain but shrug it off as it wasn't that bad. Todoroki then finished next, sliding on ice. Hey man, good race, I said to him with a sporty smirk. He only glared at me as if looks could kill, I'd be dead. I just turn away from him quickly. I then see the surprised looks of all the students. I smirk, enjoying them very much. Never look down on the small guy. Very good. He showed our times. I made it in 2 seconds, while Shoto made it in 4. Awesome. My body ached a small bit, but nothing too serious. I see Aizawa give me a look. I quickly shrug off the pain again and stand back with the other students. That was amazing, Mineta-kun, Izuku cheered. Yeah, you were almost a blur, Ochako praised. Wow, guess big things really do come in small packages, Kaminari said. Don't callmesmal, a faint purple aura emitted from me. Okay, sorry. Kaminari raises his hands up, frightened. Seiyig, forget it, it's cool, my aura faded. Izuku's POV. Minoru did really well. He's really rocking One for All, giving how he didn't react when I told him my quirk. All Might hasn't told him the whole truth. I just hope when he does learn, he can still come to trust me as a friend. Next, Midoriya and Bakugo. Why am I not surprised? I glance over at Bakugo, who's giving me a very nasty glare. Per usual, however, he also smirked, thinking this was his time to show me up. Well, unfortunately for him, that's not gonna be the case. Perfect time to finally try out this new quirk. Dad let me take off him. It's perfect for this scenario. I smirk to myself as we head to the racing track and take our positions. I glance over at Bakugo one last time. Again he glared at me. I simply gave him a friendly smirk. Good luck, I said. He only scuffed in response. I let out a soft chuckle and turned my head to focus this new quirk. Concentrating, I activate it. Small glowing white wings appeared on the heels of my feet and they sparked as well. Go, I hear Aizawa sound off. I then take off the ground, running at a speed equal to that of Mineta and Ada. Behind me I hear rapid explosions. Bakugo must be using his explosions to propel himself forward. Clever, but unfortunately my quirk was faster and I made it in about 3 seconds. I then slide on my feet to stop and Bakugo finished right after me a second later than me. The look on his face just seeped with rage seeing me beat him. It brought an odd pleasure to me, mostly because this jerk has tormented me my whole childhood for the dumbest reason. Deku, he growled. You did great. I then turn away from him and walk back to the others, not even giving him a chance to get out anything. Wow dude, what quirk was that? Mina bounced excitedly. I call it Icarus. With it I can run at super speeds and jump extremely high. Midoriya. Wow, that is cool. That wasn't the quirk I saw you use in the entrance exam. I'm pretty sure I saw you flying at one point near the start. Then when the giant robot came you used some quirk to power up a pellet or marble. Okako caught on. 3 quirks, is that possible? Takoyami spoke out. Well, it's part of my quirk. I can take quirks from others and use them for myself or give them. Everyone went silent, stares stuck to him like glue. You're kidding, right? Kaminari asked in disbelief. No, it's true. That's my power. I call it avarice. That is so cool, Mina shouted, ecstatic. Such a strong quirk. Ada muttered. How many quirks do you have, man? Kirishima asked me. Let's see, currently 11. Or 12 counting my original quirk that allows me to do this. Wow, you're a total powerhouse, Toru said. Excuse me, Midoriya-kun. You said you take quirks, yes? Does this render victim quirkless? Momo asked. Yes, it does, sadly. Now everyone really looked afraid. Looks of fear and uncertainty. I didn't like that at all. But I'd never steal a quirk. The ones I have now were given to me by some friends that didn't really want them anymore. So they let me have them instead. I lie because I sure as hell can't tell them all the truth. Oh, I see. Sorry if I implicated anything, Momo apologized. It's okay, don't worry, Mame-chan. Hey, don't worry guys, Midoriya here is a real cool dude. He wouldn't do any of you wrong. Mina spoke up for me. Yeah, I agree. Thus far Midoriya seems like a real chill guy. Hanta agreed. Not much reason at all to doubt him. Ribbit. This brought a huge smile to my face. Finally, a place where I truly belong. No one's POV. After that little heart-filled moment, the rest of the quirk assessment test went off without a hitch. Everyone scored decently, with Izuku, Minoru, Ada, Bakugo, Shoto, Takoyami and Momo being the top scorers. However, Izuku noticed something as well as Aizawa. Every time Minoru went up for his turn at the end, he would always seem to be in pain. He would always quickly shrug it off, but his face showed clearly he was hurting. Izuku figured he'd talk to him after their results are showed. Aizawa would speak to him about it after school. That concludes the test. Now to tally up your scores. Aizawa spoke, activating the big screen. Everyone was on the edge of their seats as the huge monitor displayed their results. Izuku was scored in first rank, Minoru was second ranked, Momo third, Shoto fourth, Bakugo fifth, Ada sixth, Takoyami seventh. As the list reached the end, poor Toru was last ranked. No way, the poor invisible girl chalked out. Her invisibility hiding the tears that were poking at her eyes. Very good, everyone. Also, no one's going home. I lied. WHAAT, a few students screamed in unison. You mean you guys didn't catch on? Momo asked. A necessary deception, to make us give it everything we had. Izuku spoke, reliving memories of Stain's brutal training. I get it, but kind of a dick move. Minoru shoved his hands in his pockets. Call it what you'd like, but it was the best tactic to push you all to bring out willpower within you that you probably didn't know you had. Pressure can really bring things out in people, Aizawa said with his stoic face. Yet there was an odd passion to his voice this time. He even offered them a smile for the first time. You should smile more often, teacher. The ones who bring out the best in people are the ones who smile often, Izuku said happily. We'll see. Continue to impress me and maybe I will. You all go change back and head back to class, he said, walking off. Minoru sighed. Hey Mineta-kun, Izuku tapped his shoulder. Yeah, Midoriya-kun, he turned around. Are you okay, he asked in a concerned manner. Fine, Minoru looked confused. Well, it's just after each of your turns, you look to be in pain. Oh, you noticed that Minoru's eyes trailed off. Yeah, what's up? Okay, look, the stockpile quirk has a lot of energy stored up in me and well, my body can't really handle all of it just yet, so I gotta use it at a low percentage, if not I could really mess myself up. I see, was that what you were doing, Izuku asked. Well, I wanted to really impress everyone, so I just went over my limit by 5%. Please don't do that. I understand your reasoning given the situation, but please do not needlessly hurt yourself. Izuku crossed his arms. Yeesh, okay, I won't. Sorry. Minoru flinched a bit. Thank you. I say this only because I care and I really didn't like seeing you in pain like that. His face dropped a bit. Minoru kind of felt bad now, making the poor guy worry about him. Thanks, man. Really, you're awesome. I'll be careful. Minoru smirked. Hehe, good. Room for one more. Achako came up to them. Always room for you, sweet cheeks. Minoru coed. You are so cheesy. Want some wine with that? The girl smirked. I'd gladly take anything you'd serve me. Minoru bows. This earned a chuckle from both Izuku and Achako. You two did amazing, she beamed. Well, no one managed to get infinity, Izuku laughed. Hehe, true. She winked. But still, you two were awesome. Thanks, Yurichin. You too. Minoru, he gave her the peace sign. Thanks, Midoriya, the girl got a bit quiet. Yes, Uraraka. You said you could give quirks, right? She gave him a rather serious look. Yes, I did. Why? He raised an eyebrow. Achako stayed silent for a few moments, then shook her head. Just checking to see if I heard you right. Haha. She scratched the back of her head, laughing nervously. Oh, okay then. Izuku seemed off-put by her reaction. Minoru feeling the air tense up, he quickly changed the subject. Hey, we should get going to change. Minoru suggested. Yeah, totally, let's go. Achako agreed rather quickly. Yeah, let's go, guys. The three smiled and walked off together, chatting all the while. Aizawa rounded a corner to see Find All Might leaning against the wall. Why did I know you'd be around here? Aizawa spoke. Haha, just checking up on our new students. You shouldn't favor students, All Might. I'm just worried for Minoru and worried about Izuku. All Might, listen, before we accepted him here we all had a talk with him about him and his quirk. He's not some spy or snake waiting to bite. He's an honest good kid. I know it's not him I distrust. I distrust that power of his. Power can change someone. All Might gritted his teeth. Power on its own, just like any tool, is only as dangerous as the person behind it. Aizawa replied. He'll use it for the right reasons. Have faith. Isn't that your thing after all? Aizawa then walked past him. Hehe, using my own morality against me. Well played, Eraser. The smiling man laughed as he followed Aizawa. Thanks, I needed to hear that. No problem. Also, that Minoru seems to be behaving himself. He hasn't done anything outrageously inappropriate. I can put up with glances, but if he goes beyond that, I won't be forgiving. Aizawa said in a stern tone. Don't worry, Minoru has learned a good amount of self-restraint over these 10 months I've trained him, All Might said proudly. Good, let's hope it stays that way. He has potential. Izuku too. Let's do our best for them both. All Might patted his shoulder. That is our job. Aizawa smiled under his scarf. All Might laughed as the two made their way back inside the school to continue the day. Izuku was smiling to himself as he packed his bag to head home. After a great first day of school, he made new friends, he showed his skills, and he showed all his hard work paid off. Today was a great day. Midoriya, Minoru yelled out to Izuku as he was gathering up his things. Oh Maida. Hello, did you need something? The green-haired boy smiled. Yes, time to scout some chicks, Minoru smirked. Figured you were actually serious about this. Okay, fine. Izuku sighed. Yes, but 3 rules. 1. No invasion of personal space. 2. No inappropriate staring. 3. No dirty or suggestive comments, Izuku said sternly to him, trying his best to mimic his master. Minoru shivered a bit at Izuku's tone. Yeah, you nodded, but he rubbed the back of his neck. Thanks for agreeing. Alright, let's do this, I guess. Awesome, let Operation Scout Skirt begin. Minoru pumped his fist up in the air. What have I gotten myself into? Izuku thought to himself. The two boys then started walking around the school grounds, checking out the girls that were still sticking around even after school had ended. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Minoru smirked, checking out a cute blonde girl. She's okay. Izuku replied nervously. Personally, I like the pigtails. Very cute. I like ponytails better. Her eyes are nice too. Izuku added. Not a pigtail guy. I get it. So what's your preference, Midoriya? Well, I like long curly hair, a like for green, confident, forward, has brains. Izuku said quietly while blushing. How I see. You want to dominate, girl, Minoru teased. What? No, Izuku was flabbergasted. Haha, it's okay man, I ain't kink shaming. Minoru nudged his arm. Sigh. Izuku heaved a great sigh. Well, we've been scouting for a good 15 minutes. I think that's enough. Izuku says. Awa, come on, just a little longer, pretty please, the shorter boy begged. Fine. 5 more minutes, but that's it. Yes, see, this is why you're the best, Midoriya. You let people be themselves. Minoru smiled widely. Well, I try my best to do that. Well, it's good enough, dude, said Minoru, patting Izuku's back. Now let's see what else do you have around here. Minoru then spots 2 girls speaking together. There was one average height girl with large upturned dusky green eyes with long lower eyelashes, and notably long and pointed teeth. Her hair is a dark moss green, collectively reaching just below her shoulders aside from a short clump that hangs in the center of her forehead, and it grows wavier and thinner the lower down it gets. The other girl has chin-length, pale gray hair, parted to the right, hanging down over her eye and obscuring the majority of the left side of her face. She has dark bags under her blue eyes, and a small mouth with full lips. Her hands are usually held up as high as her elbows, with her hands draped down. PSSS, yeah dude. Check it out. Those 2. Super cuties. Yeah. The green-haired one looks really nice. Izuku spoke nervously. Personally, I'm digging the gray-haired one. Though her posture is a bit weird and what's up that stance, it's whatever. Tsuyu does something similar. Minoru shrugged it off. Her chest isn't huge but decent. I'd say gray hair is a B cup. Rough estimate though. Minoru pondered. Sieg, really? Izuku raised an eyebrow. Oh come on. It's only between us. Whatever. Proceed. Thank you, her eyes are pretty. Though one's kinda covered, it's pretty. Like her hair too. Smooth, simple and shiny. Also those lips look great. What say you, my dude? What you like about green girl over there? Minoru smirked. Well, first off, I like her eyes, her curly green hair, her sharp-toothed smile is kinda alluring. I see. Well, looks like you've got your target locked, and so do I. Okay then. Let's go talk to him. What do you mean talk to them? I thought we were just scouting and observing from a distance. Where did this talking thing come up? Izuku questioned frantically. Well, of course we're going to go talk to them. I mean, why wouldn't we? Minoru raised an eyebrow. Mind a look. I'm not good at flirting, okay, or even talking to girls in general. You talked to Yurichin and the other girls in our class just fine earlier. Just act normal, dude. Minoru tried reassuring him. I still don't know. He rubbed his arm. Sigh, Midoriya, if you really don't wanna, I won't twist your arm about it. Though girls would really like you, man, you're so totally awesome for real. Thanks, Minda. Really? Okay, I'll give it a try. Izuku smiles slightly. If it goes bad, I'll never ask you to do it again. Minoru shoves his hands in his pockets. Thank you again. I'm happy you can be serious about situations. Well, after training with my mentor, I learned to get serious when I gotta. Minoru chuckled a bit. Haha, good for that. Okay, I'm ready. Let go, woo some babes. With that, the 2 boys made their way over to the 2 girls. Haha, gotta say, Yanagichin, UA is pretty freaking sweet. Rad people, rad teachers, and just rad everything. Really? The green-haired girl laughed with her toothy grin. I guess it's fine, Takage-shin. The gray-haired replied with an emotionless deadpan voice and face. Geez, ghost girl. Up your SPIIRTS, why don't you? Hahaha. The girl did not reply and merely stared at Takage with the same expression. I'll get you to laugh or smile one day. One day. Do you hear me? She spoke in a dramatic, raspy, hissing voice. Yes, I hear you quite well. Yanagi replied casually. Well, she sure is lively. Minoru spoke, coming up to them along with Izuku, who was smiling very nervously. Well, looky what we got here. Walking broccoli and a small grape. Takage smirked, looking at the 2 boys. Minoru's left eye twitched at her comment, while Izuku only seemed confused. Okay, was the small remark really needed? Minoru roared in his mind. Haha, just kidding boys, wish up. She crossed her arms. Well, me and my friend here thought you 2 girls seemed pretty cool, so we thought we'd come and say hello. Right, Izubuddy, whatever. Why yes, Minoru. Izuku replied. That right now hear that Yanagi, these boys wanna make merry with us. We speak if you'd like. Yanagi said. Awesome. Well, first off, names. I'm Minoru Maita. Heya, Twam Izuku Midoriyahi. The green-haired girl noticed Izuku's blushing and flustered state. She smiled and took advantage of this to have some fun. I'm Setsuna Takage, but you can call me Setsu Freckles. She smirked and winked at him. Boom, okay. Izuku wheezed out. Geez dude, what are you trying to do, talk or lay an egg? Minoru cringed. I'm Ryuko Yanagi. Hello. The gray-haired girl spoke, still in her emotionless tone. Are you okay, Yanagichin? Minoru asked. Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Nothing, you just, well, kinda seem gloomy. I'm always like this, she replied. Wow, really? Okay, that makes her a tougher nut to crack. That other girl has her eyes set, Midoriya, so I'll try my luck with this one. Hey, looky here. You got green curly hair just like me. Setsuna played with Izuku's hair. You eyes, IDDO. I'm happy you like it. OMG. She's touching me. Izuku was a blushing mess. Like it, I love it. We're hair twins, god, I can't help myself. This boy is so cute. Setsuna coed. Suo, Yanagi. How are you liking UA? Minoru asked with a smile. It's interesting, she replied. Oh, I see. Anything about it you find interesting? Gotta draw out more answers with people like her. Otherwise the conversation will end way too quick. The students and staff intrigue me, she said. I can see that. Same here, cool pro hero teachers and cool students, what's there not to like? Minoru smirked. I guess you're right, though things could easily turn sour. Well yeah. You've got a point there, but hey, that's what friends are for, right? When going to a new school, you find out who you can trust right away. So, when things do get sour, you got someone watching your back. Rieko seems somewhat affected by this, but barely. Yes, that is a good thing. Though trust is something that is earned over time and is not easy to bestow easily and freely. She stared into his eyes with a calm glare. Minoru kinda shivered a bit by her stare, as if she had gazed right into his very soul. He could tell she's had her trust betrayed in the past. She just has that look in her eyes. It's familiar to him because well, had been there before. Both on the receiving and giving end. It sucks immensely either way. Trust me, I know. Though Yanagichan, you can trust me, I swear. I won't lie, I've been a moron in the past and well, even a little now, but I've gotten better. He said sincerely. She stared back at him for a few moments silently, as if judging his words. It takes a brave person to admit their own faults openly like that. So I think I can take your word for it. I hope to learn more of you, Maita-kun, so that we may become friends. Her stoic face remained, but there was a slight lightness to her voice this time around. Not a smile, but hey, I'll take it, same here, Yanagichan. Anyways, maybe see you around, Minoru said shyly. Very well, she said plainly. Oh really? Neat half expected her to either reject slap me. His sweat dropped a bit. SSO Setsu, you must be very skilled to be here. Izuku stammered. Yeah, I'm pretty badass. I was actually recommended here. She smirked in a cocky manner, twirling her hair on her finger. Really? Wow, that's amazing, you must be super strong. Izuku beamed with excitement. Setsuna chuckled at his dorky reaction. She found it adorably endearing. Hehe, well thanks for the compliment, Freckles. However, she then got close to her ear. Flattery will only get you so far with me, she teased. Izuku's face turned beet red and steam fumed from his ears. Ha ha ha, I like this guy really. I do. Setsuna laughed hysterically. Foo happy, you do. The boy pouted. Haha, okay, Izuku, I'm sorry. All joking aside, you're really interesting and I totally would not mind chatting you up again, she said earnestly. Really? Yeah dude, you're funny and cute. She flicked his nose. See, cute? Oh wow, thanks. Internal incoherent squeals of happiness. Yep, cute. Heh. Alright, I gotta get going. Fun talking to ya. I as well must take my leave. Rieko spoke up. Oh well, we'll both see you girls around. Stay awesome. Minoru gave the finger gun hand gesture to them with a smile. Yes, stay cool. Izuku tried his best to flirt while smiling. As long as you stay so freaking cute, Freckles. She winked, making Izuku hide his face in his hands. She laughed as she walked off. Rieko merely nodded and walked off as well. Well, that actually went well, Minoru smiled. Why yeah, oh man, my face burns. Izuku grumbled, rubbing his face. You weren't kidding when you said you hadn't done this before. Minoru have a sympathetic look. That's what I've been saying. He finally regained his composure. Yeah well, don't worry. It'll get easier eventually. Minoru assured him, giving him a thumbs up. All things are hard before they're easy, Izuku added with a smile. Hehe, there you go, pal. Yes thanks, also Minda. Can I speak to you about your power for a moment? Izuku looked serious. What is it, dude? The shorter boy looked concerned. I know your power is great, but please, don't let it go to your head and make you drive you to make a big mistake. Izuku spoke. Minoru stared back at him with a rather unreadable face. Izuku was rather uneasy by this. Minoru then turned away and began to speak. I know, Midoriya. His voice has this sharp seriousness to it. Izuku was surprised to hear this kind of tone from Minoru. From the moment I came into this power, I already let it go to my head. I was so excited to have this power. I was thinking everything was gonna change for me just like that. That I was gonna be some top-tier badass. When people come into their quirks, it's like a dice roll. You have a chance to roll a quirk that pretty much useless, helpful, strong, or godlike. With this new latent quirk, I felt like I got a lucky god roll, but the thing is, as powerful as it is, I can't fully control it. I learned that the painful way. Totally mangled my arm on my first attempt using it. Then I realized I got a long way to go. If it wasn't for my mentor and a friend of his, I could have been in serious trouble. All because of my stupid ego. Minoru clenched his fists. There's no easy way around this. I have to go bit by bit with this power. I have to learn to grow it in myself. To be honest, I'm glad I can't use 100% of this power just yet. Because to be honest, I'm afraid of where I could have drifted off if I could have. No, I'm just gonna take it slow and earn this power bit by bit. His sharp tone lessened. I don't care how long it takes, I have to stick it out. Just like my mentor who spent 10 months sticking my annoying antics out to help me become something better. He did so much for me and I've finally made him proud. I'm not about to just turn around and spit in his face. So you really don't need to tell me not to let things go to my head. I already learned that lesson, Midoriya. He finally turns and gives him a deep stare. Izuku could only stare back in silence. He was so taken back that Minta, this goofy friend he made that always acted like such a jokester, could get so serious so quickly. I see. So you have. Well then. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to try and lecture you. Please forgive me. Izuku the boss. Sigh, it's okay dude. I get it though, after all that in that quirk test. Me pushing my body and stuff and laughing off the pain. I get how you would kinda get that impression. I was just trying to show the others what I could do, you as well. I was just trying to prove I belong here. Minoru's voice dropped as he ducked his head. Izuku walked over and placed a hand on his shoulder. Maita, you've already proven it. The fact you're willing to put yourself through agony to show your potential speaks volumes about you. Izuku smiled warmly. Minoru looked up and smiled back at Izuku. He felt his resolve return. Thanks, man. You're the best. Minoru leaped up and hugged Izuku. Izuku was surprised by hugged Minoru back as well. No, you're the best. Izuku laughed. Unknowingly to them, All Might was passing by and witnessed the whole scene between them. This could only bring a smile to the man's face. Maybe he had been worrying for nothing. This Midoriya really was an upright fellow. Just someone wanting to do the right thing. Then Maita, he thought he'd have to watch him extra closely here, but All Might, it seems he already has someone to watch his back. I think those two will push each other quite far. All Might, but I'll always be here for them both and point them in the right direction. Maybe I should have a proper talk to young Midoriya in person soon. Yes, I think that would be good. Maita as well. Just to check on him. All Might chuckled to himself and carried on with his business, leaving the two boys in their touching moment. Minoru let go of Izuku and landed back on his feet. Hey, before we part ways, why don't we go get some ramen? Izuku suggested. Sounds good to me. Minoru laughed. Haha, okay, let's go. Izuku smiled, leading the way, and Minoru followed close behind. Thanks for what you said, Midoriya. Really, made me feel more confident. No issue at all. I'm always happy to encourage others. The green-haired boy replied. Well, I appreciate it a lot, Brotato. This earned a very cheery laugh from Izuku, and Minoru joined in on it. At this moment, these two knew they were destined to be friends. This school year was going to be one hell of party. Dude, I am so hyped for this, Minoru explained, carrying a case that contained his hero outfit. He along with the other students were currently making their way to the changing rooms to slip into their hero outfits for All Might's Hero Trails class. I am too, man, I've been itching for this part. Kirishima pumped his fist in the air. Time to show how much of a man I can be. We get it, dude, you're manly and stuff. Kaminari smiled, rolling his eyes. Haha, I think his energy is really good. He may invigorate the others who are nervous. Izuku said. Wise words, Midoriya. Takoyami complimented. It's true. Izuku smiled. If one person shows confidence in a situation where most others are nervous, their confidence is bound to become contagious. Well, it's sure rubbing off on me, Mina cheered. I must say it's raising my morale as well. Momo added, chuckling. See, what did I tell you? Izuku grinned ear to ear. Yes, Midoriya, I do see. I will take these words to heart. Takoyami nodded. Awesome. Izuku patted his back. After a brief session of changing, the students emerged from the changing rooms in their hero outfits. Izuku's looks the same as it does when he gets it redone. Only it's red, and he has a long black scarf around his neck instead of the mouth mask, and he has a green kodashi sword strapped to his lower back near his waist. Mine's is vastly different. He has no mask on his head. He has on a dark purple leather jacket with small armor pads on the shoulders, elbows, and chest plate underneath the jacket. There's a grape symbol with static around it patched on the back of the jacket. He has a utility belt as well. He has dark purple jeans with small armor pads on the knees. He has purple steel-toe combat boots with yellow streaks on the side of them and small grape symbols on the heels. He has yellow gloves made for combat and shock resistance. They have purple streaks along the wrist of the gloves. Finally, he has a small yellow bandana around his neck with a smile printed across it. Haha, this costume feels great. Good thing I rethought my costume at the last minute. Minda laughed. Really, why ribbit? Sue looked down to him. Well, it was kinda. How say it, lame? He said flatly. Judging by your face and voice, that's no understatement. Hanta said. It couldn't have been that bad, Maita-kun. Izuku comforted him. Yeah, though I wish mine wasn't so tight. Geez. Achako whined, stretching around in her costume. Please, don't make me talk about it. Minoru rolled his eyes. Oh wow, it really must have been bad. Toru laughed. What have I been saying? Minoru threw his head back in a dramatic manner, earning laughs from the others. Hold on, Torich and Minoru looked at Toru's outfit. Yeah. Are like the rest of your costume parts invisible too or something? No, these gloves and boots are the only thing I'm wearing. She replied. So does that mean you're in the buff? Pretty much. She shrugged. Minoru was now internally screaming that there was a naked girl right next to him and screaming even more that he can't fucking see it. No. Minoru. No, bad. We've been over this. You went through 10 months of mental and psychical training for this. Control yourself, he battled with his thoughts. Maybe I should switch my invisibility quirk with Toru's. That seems a bit extreme to fight naked. Oh, but wait, I don't want to be invisible forever. Never mind. Izuku thought to himself. Are you okay, Maita-kun? Toru waved her hand in front of his face. Yeah, I think your nose is bleeding. Achako said in a concerned voice. Yep, totally fine. His eyes darted away from Heronly to catch sight of Momo's outfit. Oh god, why? Afterwards at the training grounds they were met the same decoy city that was used in the entrance exams. Izuku, Achako and Minoru got a faint wave of nostalgia come over them. This was where they first met. All three shared a quick glance at each other with a smile. Just then All Might swooped down from the sky and landed spectacularly. Ha 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 ha, students, happy to see you all in your hero outfits, All Might cheered. You all look like great heroes in the making. Thanks, sir, Izuku saluted. Yeah, thanks all, dude. Minoru smiled. Haha, now then. without further ado, welcome to Foundational Hero Studies. I shall be instructing you fine students today. Today I have a battle trial planned for you all. Heh, finally some real action. I won't go easy on any of you extras. You give me a challenge, wanna show my skills. Bakugo smirked. Izuku, Minoru and Ochako rolled their eyes. Need some ice, your head swollen. Ochako thought to herself. Now young Bakugo, that is no way to talk to your fellow classmates. All Might scolded. TCH, whatever. The blonde scoffed. Ahem. That aside, allow me to explain this battle trial. All Might then explained the battle trial. This would be an indoor battle trial. There would be 2 pairs of students together, on 2 teams, heroes versus villains. The battle trial replicates a situation where the villains are hiding a super weapon inside the building and the heroes must secure it or defeat the villains within a time limit. The villains are granted the victory if they successfully protect the payload or capture the heroes. Now that's all explained. Everyone choose your partners. Maybe I'll choose Minda. We were a pretty good team in the entrance exams. Izuku thought as he turned, only to see Ochako right in front of him smiling. Eep, so close he blushed. Hey Midoriya, would you be my partner? I want to return the favor for you saving me. I'll repay Minta-kun somehow too. She smiled so innocently. How can I turn that down? Sure thing, Yuraketchan. Let's do our best. Izuku smiled nervously. Yay, Ochako cheered. Damn, there goes Midoriya. Crap, I was counting on him being my partner. Minoru groaned inside his head. Now what? Come on. Who would be a good match for me? Ada no too high strong. Bakui, am I even considering him an option? Teruno. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Mizo maybe. Kaminari, that can be a definite maybe. Momoe, probably not, and Furia's his thoughts were cut off by. Minta-kun. Momo came up to him. Speak of the devil and the devil shall come. You can do this, Minoru. Keep your eyes on her eyes and nowhere else. Hey Mame-chan. Wish up, he strained a smile while trying to keep his eyes from scrolling down. Well, if it is okay. May I ask that you be my partner please? I believe we would make an excellent team. Okay, well, the one time I actually wanted a girl to avoid me and this happens. This is a new feeling. Not sure I like it. Either way I'd feel like a dick to just turn her down so. Sure hehe, why not? He smiled. Excellent, thank you for accepting me. She bowed. Hehe, yeah no problem Mami-chan. Just play it cool dude. Just shut up and pair me 4 eyes. Bakugo roared. Sigh, very well, but may I ask you not be so vulgar? Ida sighed. Oh yeah, that'll happen. The blonde rolled his eyes. Stay Ida, stay strong. Izuku wished his blue-haired friend luck. It didn't take long for the rest of the students to pair up. After that was said and done, the students drew lots to be either villains or heroes. Izuku and Ochako were heroes as Team A and Minoru and Momo were villains as Team C. Now the teams that will be duking it out first are all Mig drew from the hero and villain boxes. These guys, he pulled a ball with an A on it from the hero box and a ball with a D on it from the villain box, which so happened to be Bakugo's and Ada's team. Perfect. Finally, my chance to show Bakugo that I'm not scared of him anymore and that I've grown past him. Izuku's heart burned with determination. Good, finally time to put this shitty nerd back in his place. He scowled at Izuku. Good luck in there you two. Minoru wished the 2 luck. Thank you Minta-kun. Izuku smiled. Yeah thanks. Ochako beamed. Come on shitty 4 eyes. Bakugo stomped off. Saida shook his head following. I feel bad for him. Minoru said. Same. Izuku walked off as well. I'll do something nice for him after this. Ochako smiled following Izuku. All Might and the other students headed off to the monitoring room to watch the battle. Izuku and Ochako took their places outside the building and slipped their earpiece comm links into their ears. This will be exciting, Ochako said happily. I wish I could say the same for myself, but this is gonna be kinda personal for me. He rubbed his arm. Why wait? Is it because of Bakugo? She looked concerned. Yes, it is. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Honestly, what is his problem with you? The way he acts to you really is appalling. He's a stuck-up jerk with a superiority complex. He thinks he's better than everyone, sees everyone else as extras, and is flat-out rude for reason. He's under this dumb impression I look down on him because I checked on him when he fell into a shallow river when we were kids. He thinks I looked at him like he was a weakling. No, I looked concerned cause he could have hit his head, drowned and died. Izuku spat. That is very, very dumb. Ochako admitted. I know it is. He's bullied me my whole life for no reason and even told me to go kill myself. He scoffed. Oh my. Ochako clasped his hands in hers and looked him deep in the eyes. Do not pay him any mind. He's just jealous of you. Don't let him drag you down to his level. You are amazing and nice. Izuku's face blushed 4 shades of red. Haha, thanks Yurichin. You're so kind. He looked away smiling. Don't mention it. She then released his hands. Ahem, now we should think of a plan. Izuku dons a serious face. Oh I'm not so good at that, Ochako said. Ah, I see. Well, allow me. Ochako nodded and showed she was listening. Okay, well, Bakugo will more than likely come after me, so you can slip away while he's focused on me. Ada will more than likely stay behind and defend the weapon, since Bakugo will be so blinded trying to hurt me he won't even pay you much mind. So when we encounters us I'll draw his attention and you slip by. Also I'll spawn a decoy to go with you. Izuku says. Decoy. Ochako tilts her head. Oh, one of my quirks. I can make decoys of myself. I can make up to 3. However, they're not very durable. If I make 1, that one can take 3 hits before vanishing. If I make 2, then they both have 2 hits. If I make 3, they go in 1 hit. Izuku explained. However, they are very useful. They can use all the quirks I can and they can go however far they want. Wow, that's really cool, so how are we gonna use them? Ochako asked excitedly. Well, like I said, I'm gonna spawn a decoy to follow you to Ida. Once there, stay out of sight and have the decoy go invisible. Then show yourself and keep Ida distracted, then the decoy will sneak over unseen and touch the weapon. Izuku smiled. Sounds like a plan to me. This will be a cakewalk. Don't get cocky and never underestimate your foes, Izuku said to her in a stern tone. Eep, sorry. Heh. She laughed nervously. Good, let's go, the boy cheered, heading off into the building, and Ochako quickly followed. As they traversed through the building, the others watched them all from the monitoring room. Okay, Minoru. Watch and observe all you can. Watch what you see and use it as inspiration. Minoru watches focused. Okay, young Midoriya. Show me how different you are from your father. All Might thought as he watched Izuku closely. Bakugo stomped angrily through the halls of the building after leaving Ida to defend the weapon. Ida of course didn't like the plan but didn't want to spend 5 minutes arguing with him. Doesn't matter how many quirks he has. I'll crush him until there's nothing left. That's all he is. A bug. A bug for me to crush. He's nothing, a spineless weakling. Explosions crackled from his hands. Izuku, using his werewolf fiercely, perk up. Ochako, get ready. He's closing in. He readied himself. Right, Akako also readied herself as well. Just then Bakugo rounded a corner and lunged himself at Izuku with an explosion. He then cocked his right hand for his signature right hook. Izuku quickly dodged and grabs a hold of his arm. Ochako took this opportunity to dart past the both of them. With one fluent motion, Izuku over the shoulder slams Bakugo to the ground. Bakugo grunted as his back slammed on the ground. Izuku followed up, slamming Bakugo with an frost explosion, sending him flying back the way they had came. Izuku then spawned a decoy that joined Ochako in fleeing the fight. Heya, decoy Izuku at your service, the decoy spoke. Oh, you talk too, Ochako asked. That and more. Don't worry, I already know the plan. I got your back. The decoy smiled. Right on, let's do this, Ochako, and the decoy pressed onto the upper parts of the building. Very impressive, Momo complimented. He timed that perfectly. He spawned the decoy to follow Uraraka after landing a large attack that not only sent his foe flying, but obscured his vision. Thus Bakugo didn't see Midoriya spawn the decoy. Takoyami pitched in. Dude's a clever fox. Minoru smirked. Good luck, Yurechin. Izuku wished his partner good luck as Bakugo quickly recovered and shot back up. TCH, lucky shot. He snarled as smoke seeped from his hands. Here we are again, Bakugo, Izuku said as frost mist seeped from his hands. Finally stopped calling me Kaken good. It was fucking annoying. He got into a stance. Yes, because I figured he gripped the handle of his Kodachi. What's the point? We're not friends, and quite frankly, we never were. Izuku's eyes focused sharply on Bakugo. Bakugo was a little off-put by this, just like how he was at the entrance exams. This new Izuku was not something he was used to, but he quickly shrugged it off. Him growing a backbone meant nothing. Deku was still Deku, but I can play along. Izuku unsheathed his blade halfway. Right as Bakugo was about launch and attack him, Izuku activated his Icarus quirk and he went full power on them. Though Bakugo's reaction time was normally incredible, Izuku's top speed completely caught him off guard. Like a dash of lightning, Izuku zipped past Bakugo and slashed his right arm, leaving an open gash on it. Gah, Bakugo yelped and held his arm and looked back as Izuku came to a halt just a few meters away. The Icarus quirk shut off as Izuku turned to face Bakugo with a rather stoic expression, and it enraged Bakugo. There wasn't a single trace of fear or doubt in his eyes. What the fuck, he moved so fast I couldn't even react. Wow, did anyone else follow that? Kirishima spoke out. Nope, total blur, Kaminari said. We'll go get him, Midoriya, Minoru cheered. Izuku's blade was now stained with Bakugo's blood. He looked down at the bloodied blade, then to Bakugo. Though I've always admired the color green, I've gained a new respect for red. Izuku's tone became ominously dark as he dragged his tongue along the blade, licking up the blood. Bakugo winced seeing him do that. What kind of change or training did he go through? Oh, that is badass, Mina shouted. That made my skin crawl. Jiru cringed. Just then red glowing streaks appeared down Izuku's eyes and reached from the top of his head and down to his jaw. The same thing for Bakugo, but however, though he wasn't able to see the marks, he did feel an odd chill come over him. Ugh, what the hell was that, you shitty nerd? Why would I explain my abilities to my foe? Damage reduction activated. Izuku's eyes narrowed at Bakugo as he sheathed his sword. Screw it, I'll still pound you to pieces. Bakugo rocketed himself at Izuku with explosions from his hands. Izuku took a stance ready and activated his kinetic energy manipulation quirk. Can only use 3 quirks at a time for now, so keep up the damage reduction quirk, kinetic energy quirk, and just switch up the third here and there, but I'll stick with ice explosions for now. Throw his arm up to block a left roundhouse kick from Bakugo. Izuku quickly absorbed the kinetic energy from Bakugo's kick. The blonde followed up by pointing his hand at Izuku, ready to let off an explosion. Izuku quickly braced himself and covered his face with his arms. His foe then unleashed an explosion at point-blank range. The explosion sent Bakugo flying back, however Izuku remained rooted in place. The force of the explosion, as well as the damage, was reduced due to the damage reduction quirk. Also, he had absorbed the kinetic force of the explosion as well. The smoke obscured the vision of both Bakugo and the monitors from seeing Izuku. Ouch, ain't that one good? Hanta winched a bit. Is he okay? Rakido looked a bit concerned. Oh, trust me, he's more than okay. Minoru smirked. When the smoke cleared, Izuku was still standing. A bit scuffed but not very harmed. Nice move, villain. Izuku lowered his arms to show he wasn't that damaged. The hell, that was a point-blank blast, Bakugo snarled. Try this on for size. Izuku turned his left arm into the missile launcher mode and fires about 5 at the blonde, while gripping his kodachi with his other free hand. Bakugo swiftly responded by sending big explosion at the missiles, destroying them before they reached him. As Bakugo did this, Izuku hastily charged his katana with kinetic energy along with his arm and swung his arm forward. A razor-sharp slash wave of force erupted from the blade and flew through the smoke from his missiles, and Bakugo's explosion created. Bakugo was surprised and managed to dodge it, but his right shoulder was sliced a bit by the attack. Izuku dashed ahead, sheathing his sword. He jumped ahead at Bakugo through a spinning kick. Bakugo ducked it but didn't see Izuku's other leg coming around. Izuku's other leg smacked Bakugo across the face, making his stagger a bit. The blonde growled and responded with a forward thrust along with an explosion. Izuku spun around his arm right before the explosion. Izuku then elbowed his foe in the jaw. Bakugo retaliated with a jab to the Izuku's side. He grunted a small bit and amped up his fist with kinetic force and slammed his palm into Bakugo's chest. He then went sliding back a few meters. Bastard, Bakugo growled at Izuku. Oh, what are you angry because you're losing to someone who you deemed weaker than you? Izuku tilted his head in a mocking manner, trying to rile up Bakugo. Or are you angry because it's being made painfully clear you're not as strong as you think you are? He smiled. Bakugo's hands crackled with explosions. His eyes burned with hate. I see what Midoriya is doing. He's trying to mess with Bakugo's emotions to make him slip up. Trying to anger him and make him unfocused. Takoyami explained. A cunning strategy. Using your foe's own mental unsuitability or immaturity to your advantage. Momo analyzed. Dang, Midoriya's got some pretty sick moves. I really don't have a solid fighting style myself. Just bits and pieces of moves from characters in fighting games mashed together. I need to work on that. Izuku was about to make another move until a loud ringing sound could be heard and Bakugo's left gauntlet flashed red. Izuku raised an eyebrow while Bakugo smirked. I'm all loaded up. Wanna see something really special, Deku? Izuku didn't answer, nor did his stoic expression falter. I screed nitroglycerin like sweat from my hands and make it blow up. He pointed his arm toward Izuku and pulled back piece of his gauntlet for a pin to stick out. These bracers have been storing up my sweat inside them for one monster blast. Bakugo smiled manically as he placed his finger around the pin. Good to know. Full power ice explosion with both hands, plus a kinetic amp up should be able to match his blast. Izuku put his arms forward with both palms wide open and aimed forward. His palms glowed a bright blue. Let's see what you've got, Deku. Bakugo smiled as he pulled the pin fully out and a massive explosion erupted from his gauntlet and barreled toward Izuku. Izuku then fired a full power ice explosion powered up with kinetic energy, resulting in a much bigger and more powerful blast than Bakugo's. As both attacks collided, Izuku's overpowered Bakugo's and tore through his attack. Bakugo didn't even have time or space to avoid the attack as it engulfed him. Ida felt and heard a large crash come from below him. He quickly turned on his comm to get an answer from Bakugo. Bakugo, come in, what was that explosion? Hello. He tried desperately to reach his partner but to no avail. Sigh. Come on, Ida. Focus. You're a villain. Mwahaha, and the personification of evil, Ida put on his best villainous act. Achako was about to laugh but the decoy Izuku quickly silenced her. Sorry, she whispered. The decoy gave a silent nod. Okay, are you ready? She asked quietly. The decoy gave a thumbs up. Good, go. Achako then revealed herself and the clone went invisible and sneaked off. Uraraka, how brave of you to come out and face me. Well, of course, what kind of heroine would I be? She smirked. Haha, well, it was a fool errand. I've removed all the objects within this room, so you have nothing to float. He laughed. Oh no, this could be an issue. She pretended to feel outplayed. Haha, is that fear I see? Truly you see the gravity of your situation. He placed both his hands on his hips. Was that a low-key pun? Uraraka giggled a bit. What? No, I just dear. Ada stammered to explain while the decoy drew ever closer to the weapon. While Uraraka's diversion was taking place, back down below with Izuku, the hall before him was damaged and covered with ice and frost mist. Org, looks like I overestimated his attack. I guess just a full power blast was enough. I hope he's okay. Though given Bakugo, he probably is. Izuku's arms shook a little from the pain due to the strain of his own attack. He also felt the damage reduction quirk wear off. As the mist cleared, it revealed Bakugo lying on his back up against a wall. The surrounding wall behind him was cracked slightly, thus indicated the impact of him slamming against it. He didn't appear to be moving. Upon adjusting his eyes, Izuku saw that Bakugo was slowly coming to. This ends now. Izuku activated his Icarus quick and dashed at great speed toward Bakugo. Bakugo eyes opened just in time to see Izuku's blade at his throat. This fight is over, Izuku spoke in a cold tone. Bakugo growled with explosions coming off his hands. Izuku quickly pressed the blade against his throat. You fucking piece of shit, no one beats me, especially not you, the blonde boy roared. Game over, the heroes when All Might's voice boomed over the comms. What both Bakugo and Ida shouted in unison. How she didn't get to the weapon, Ida asked frantically, looking behind him only to see the decoy Izuku there leaning against it. Heh, sorry. Hope you didn't mind. The decoy chuckled. Ah, the weapon, how did you get there? Ida was beyond confused. Just snuck by. Haha, yes, alright, we won. Uraraka bounced up and down cheering. Oh man, that was sick. I thought Bakugo was gonna blow Izuku away with that big blast, Kirishima said. Yeah, but Izuku was all like, bitch, please. Epic Kaminari laughed. Midoriya is truly a formidable foe. Toko spoke quietly. Yes, what with so many powers at his disposal, his skill and cunning, it makes him a very difficult combatant. Got that right. Holy hell, Midoriya is a beast, man. I got a lot of catching up to do. Mine, a sweat dropped. As I said, it's over. Izuku stood up and sheathed his sword with a little spin. Thanks for the fight. I had fun. Izuku bowed and walked off. Bakugo was silent, though his anger boiled inside him. He wanted to lash out at him. How dare he, how dare that weakling look down on him again. However, his pride had shattered significantly. He was hardly able to keep up with Izuku. This had to be the first time since the sludge villain Thaith had felt so helpless. Izuku, of all people, had him at his mercy just a few seconds ago. Had this fight been real, Izuku could have ended him there and then. No, I won't accept this. He may have won this time, but I won't lose to him again. I'll get stronger to a point to where his quirks won't mean anything, the blonde grunted as he stood back up. Eyes burning onto Izuku as he walked off. Enjoy this win while you can, Deku. It'll be the last one you ever get over me. His heart stung as the bitter feeling of defeat washed over him. His eyes didn't lie, the tears poking at his eyes were real. He gripped his fist tightly as they slowly fell. Izuku made it out the building and was shortly greeted by Uraraka and the decoy walking out as well. We did it, Midoriya. She ran over and hugged him tightly. HHHY, yeah, WWE did too close, he blushed violently. Mission accomplished, sir, the decoy saluted before vanishing. Your plan worked great, you're amazing. Ochako looked into his eyes, still holding on to him. Gee, thanks, hee. Why you too? Now we should get back, he stuttered. Oh right, sorry, hee. She nervously laughed, letting go of him. Well, let's go, partner. She grabbed his hand and dragged him off. Izuku blushed more. He wanted to protest but just let it be. Well, that was quite the lose. At least I tried though. Ida consoled himself, making his way out the building. However, he came across Bakugo with his head down. His shoulders were trembling and he was wiping his eyes. Ida instantly came up to him and placed a hand on his shoulder. Bakugo, are you okay? Ida asked concernedly. Bakugo only smacked his hand away. Shitty four eyes, I don't want your pity, fuck off, the blonde then huffed and stomped off. Ida stood there in silence for a few moments and sighed. Sigh. UAS entrance exams were not rational enough. How does someone of his demeanor get accepted into a proper prestige school like this? Ida crossed his arms and continued to make his way out of the building. He's strong, clever and humble. Young Midoriya, please stay on the path of right. All Might said a quick prayer. Okay, then time for the next round. Denki Kaminari and Kyoka Jiru versus Momo Yaoyorozu. And Minoru Minda, All Might announced. Gulp, here we go. Minoru said quietly. Minta-kun, let us do our best. I'm counting on you. Momo said to him with a smile. Alright, Mame-chan, you got it, he said with a strained smile. Do not lose it here, Minoru. All Might as well as everyone else will be watching. Be cool. Alright, ready for this? Jiru Kaminari smirked to her. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. We won't hold back, you two, she said to her opposing team. It would be an insult if you did. Momo replied. Yeah, go big or go home, Minoru added. Well then, I guess you should head home, shorty. Kaminari joked. Oh, okay, you just earned yourself a kick in the grapes. Minoru's eye twitched. Boof man, take a joke. Kaminari smickered. I will take any joke but short jokes. Minoru huffed. Ahem, let us be off. Momo quickly got everyone focused again and made her way out the monitoring room. Wait for me, Minoru ran after her and both Kaminari and Jiru followed as well. Good luck, young Minda. Let's see how much you've matured. All Might smiled. Minoru was nervous of course but oddly excited. Why, though he couldn't really figure it out, but he would see these new feelings through in this battle. Izuku felt lighter as he and Akacho walked to the monitoring room where the others were. He felt like he finally got some weight off of his shoulders. He finally faced his bully and proved not only did he not fear him anymore, he also proved he was a better person. He smiled warmly to himself. He felt like he had taken another step in his journey. However, there was much more to come and he would enthusiastically await them all. He would certainly tell his master all about today when school was over.